go.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Hell yeah, welcome to your Prequend. We are Klein Alli Show on KROQ. Summer hours officially can begin. If you need us, phones 800-520-1067. Giant TVs, tiny towels, Knott's Berry Farm 4-packs, and Alli's money on a Thrifty Thursday, all in your future. And if you're new to the show, pleasure to meet you. My name is Klein. That is Alli.
Hi there.
DJ Omar Khan, known
Hello
as
there.
the Audio Sniper. You got Jake Z Nerd.
Also an audio sniper.
Professional nerd, not an audio sniper, although he does try. And in the back room, you got Vanessa taking the calls and Postmaster Johnny at 800-520-1067. We will get into a ton on today's show, including a question, very simple question. Why is your dad the best dad ever? Deserving of that coffee mug we've seen for years. More importantly, deserving of a giant TV. Any reason why, one reason why you think your dad is the best. Maybe it's a heartfelt good reason, or maybe it's just one little thing that he does that you think is hilarious. Who knows? But someone will leave here with one of these TVs. We just put a video up yesterday. We delivered the first of the TVs. They're so big, it took up an entire van, and we could only bring one at a time. In our mind, we thought we could bring all five at one time. We could not. We could only deliver one.
And just seeing there's a child that lives in the house where it was delivered, and the child looked like he was going to get, if that thing fell on him,
he's done.
He's done.
Game over.
I mean, my God. But you're right, Klein. I think we should kind of go away from, quote, best. Everyone has something that's like, oh, my dad's the best or my mom's the best. Every card. I went to Target yesterday, and there's so many cards that are like, you're the best. Here's why you're the best. Best, 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 best. And it's like, we are all not the best.
Yeah.
Why don't we just say a couple of good things about each other and call it a day? I'm not trying to be the best.
I prefer a line of cards that just says, hey, Dad, you're not the worst. And then maybe a description of some dads that have done some terrible things that I already know I'm better than.
I think these cards are meant to say that you're being the best that you can be. You know, everybody's striving to do that. I don't think they want you to think that you're the literal best. You're not?
I'm not striving to do the best I can do. I'm striving to be better than... a few other dads in history.
That other dad that killed his kids.
Yeah, I'm trying to be, trying to be better than that ChatGPT dad.
I got you.
I know that I will not. It's like, Omar.
Well, some of them say world's best dad.
Yeah,
that's not
crazy.
true.
It's a crazy concept, and any dad who believes that is insane.
But to your kid, especially when they're tiny and small, you are.
No, my kids tell me all the time about all their friends' dads that are better than mine.
Oh my God, really?
Constantly. Yeah, but usually it's for they give them all the donuts they want, and they give
His kid's dad is Adam Levine.
Right. Yeah, he's in Maroon 5. Okay, he's in a band.
No, I think you win in that fight, dude. Once they're older, they're going to realize, yeah, you're not that guy.
I would hope so, but you know what?
You're a troublemaker and a baby maker.
Yeah. That's right. That's what they say.
Find a card that says that.
I don't want to bring the show down so early, but we did have a sad loss in the world of music yesterday. A very sad loss. And later this morning, we will have a musical tribute that I don't think any other station in the world is doing, and that is a tribute to the Beach Boys. You think about soundtrack to California music, maybe not necessarily K-Rock, but soundtrack to SoCal vibes, surf vibes. And I did not realize that on the show we had a massive Beach Boys fan that will be paying respects throughout the morning. And here's a tease.
I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations.
So anyway, it'll be a tribute that you're not going to want to miss.
A lot of Asian words that are hard for Vanessa.
A lot. So we got lots going on this morning. Thanks for hanging out, finding us here on KROQ. We are Klein Alli Show. Good morning. Every day is here. It's KROQ, your Klein Alli show from the heart of Los Angeles, California. And perhaps you're super hungover because you were up late celebrating the birthday of the great Joshua Jackson, Alli's number one star, her superstar, her A-lister. Although, as much as we celebrated yesterday to talk about his birthday, we turned the entire show into a celebration for Joshua Jackson. Apparently, he's not as big of a star to everyone as he is to you, Alli.
I just have to let Alli know. I had to look up who Joshua Jackson is. Never heard of him. First time I ever heard of him was on yesterday's show. So, Alli, I guess he's not a super mega Hollywood star. So, yeah, and the Mighty Ducks movie sucked.
How dare you?
You can't trust what this guy's
Mighty
saying.
Ducks 1 was great. Then I think they started sliding a little bit.
D2 was kind of not on the level, but still.
I would ask, Alli, that you put together a list of, in your opinion, who is an A-lister, a B-lister, and a C-lister, because I do think your list is all skewed. Like, I think that universally society has agreed on certain A-listers.
Isn't everybody's list a little skewed? Everything is subjective as far as A-list, B-list, C-list.
There's an argument now.
But I think there's a list where you could take like an A. Like, nobody's going to argue that Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie are not A-listers.
Well, duh.
Yeah, that's what we mean.
Omar, the argument would be made now that younger people that don't really care about, quote, movie stars in the same way that we do or did, would argue that A-listers now are people on TikTok that you wouldn't even know who they were. But
I've seen people crowd around somebody at a concert. I'm like, who the hell is that person?
No, but they're not A-listers just because of followers. I mean, that's different.
Yeah, but
that's
those
a
are
whole
the people
different
that
thing.
you see on like red carpets and stuff now, where it's like, who's that? And they're like, oh, she's some YouTuber, and you're like, okay. But I also think that there are people out there who don't know who Brad Pitt is.
Right. Well, listen, if word got out that Brad Pitt was shopping at the Beverly Center, let's just say, I don't think...
Do you think if we took a microphone out in the street, how many people do you think won't know who Brad Pitt is?
They'll all know who he is, but here's my question. If we were to say Brad Pitt is going to be at the Beverly Center between noon and 2, I don't think it would shut down the mall in the same way that if we said Mr. Beast was going to be there between noon and 2.
Totally.
And now the reality
But
is...
Mr. Beast gives out money, so I'm going to go choose Mr. Beast too.
Yeah, but Brad Pitt's hot.
Well, also, I would argue that people that have, quote, older fans, the fans are like, oh, that's cool, but I have a job to do. Is
there a shoe palace there?
And younger kids would be like, I don't have anything to do. Screw it. I'll go hang out for 3 hours and wait to see Mr. Beast.
Yeah, but I also think that if there are people under the age of maybe even 20 or 25, there are people who've probably never seen Brad Pitt in a movie.
You think,
and don't really care about him or know much about him at all.
I think Brad Pitt is north. Did he turn 60? Is he north of 60 now? Look that up.
I don't think he's north of 60. I think he's around 60.
Brad Pitt's 64. And honestly, I didn't know who he was until I saw him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
See?
You didn't know who he was till he was in his most recent movie?
Not really, because he wasn't in any cartoons or any kids' movies. He was in a lot of adult
Right,
movies.
of course. Why would he be? Busy slaying. 61, not 64. Yeah, I remember he just turned 60 recently. That's crazy. Okay. Well, there you have it. I guess we cannot even agree on that anymore. Because for a while there wasn't. But Joshua Jackson, maybe we go out in the streets
I think we
today.
can all agree.
Jake.
If he was at the Beverly Center from noon to 2, it would be
Shut it down!
zoo.
Shut it down! It's Joshua Jackson Day at the
Get
Beverly
those cops
Center.
on horses over here.
Welcome back to KROQ Summer Session. Today's lesson: how to win free stuff without doing any actual work. Attend every hour from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. to score a 4-pack of tickets to Knott's Berry Farm. Explore Ghost Town Alive and rock out at Knott's Summer Nights, a can't-miss after dark party. For extra credit, go to Knotts.com. Get a 2025 season pass and study thrill rides year-round. We call it field work. Our dean calls it please stop laughing and screaming in the parking lot. It's Knott's or it's not. This message approved by the Faculty of Fun at KROQ, courtesy of Knott's Berry Farm.
In the studio right now, you got Alli, as always. You got me, and then you got the couple of children that are here. I thought that was Vanessa for a second, but that's my own daughter. These are my two girls. They're in the studio now on the live stream as well. Hi, good morning, girls.
Hi.
You were
Back by popular demand.
Yeah, you were such a big hit the last time you were here during spring break that we decided your first day of summer vacation should be spent right back here at KROQ to make me look like a fool for Father's Day. Are you
tell
excited?
that one kid to sit up.
Sit up, one kid.
Who is that guy?
That's Omar.
That's the one you hate because he has the song Klein's Kids Hate Him.
And that makes her cry.
That's a stupid guy.
Yeah.
No, the song good.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything by it.
Because my dad's sometimes annoying.
Thank you. All right, great. Wonderful.
Make a new intro, Omar.
This is a great,
Sometimes annoying.
this is a great start to the game. Now, Alli has cooked up a game, girls, and if we work together and we prove to everyone listening that I actually know my children, we could win something amazing, something Dad really wants, okay? Do you see that giant TV over there?
Yeah, it's too big. I don't like TVs. I want other stuff.
Okay, great.
There you go.
Wonderful.
See, that's why it works.
Make it so you don't get it.
All right.
And a boo-boo.
All right. So does it help, girls, that this is a 98-inch QE mini LED TV,
Omar.
a QM6?
You're so not going to get this TV, dude.
Listen to me, girls. Do not sabotage this chance for
throw the
Daddy.
game.
Do not
The thing
throw
is,
the game.
guys,
Do not throw the game.
Klein.
No, it's not funny.
You all, Klein family, you all have to work together as a family to earn this TV.
Come on,
In
please.
round one, I am going to ask Klein questions about his daughters to see how well he knows them. In round two, I will ask you girls questions about your dad to see how many you guys can get right about each other. If you win the game, you win the TV or any other potential prize that we may agree on.
No, we don't want any other prize.
But you have to agree.
Girls.
I want another prize.
Stop it.
You don't even know what it is.
Just take the giant TV.
Okay, all right.
Santa, do you want a giant TV with Daddy?
Only if,
Come on, yes.
Only if
Just yes. Just say yes. Okay, here we go. Alli.
no.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to ask you a question, Klein.
I want to point out my kids are. Oh, thank you. My kids are all jacked up with sugar right now. Apparently, Postmaster Johnny has been giving them. They've been giving him bowls full of hot chocolate back there all morning.
Yikes.
She spilled all over her Laker jersey. It's a giant mess.
Well, between Johnny and Vanessa back there, I think it's just that everyone's on the same diet.
They're all eating. It's just sugar and hot chocolate in there.
And chicken fingers.
It's like the
donuts.
movie Elf in the back room. All right, whatever you're ready. All right.
You're fuzzle.
All right, calm down.
Hilarious.
Wait.
You're fuzzle.
All right, I don't think we can say that on the
You're
radio.
a fuzzle? What's that?
I don't know. Don't worry about it. Guys,
All right, that's your first question. What is a fuzzle? Write down your answer.
Listen
Klein.
to Alli. My kid's in the studio now. Father's Day's on Sunday. I'm going to prove I know my kids. Girls, here we go. It's time for us to win.
All right. Your first question, Klein, for your kids, what is their favorite food? Now, girls, don't say anything yet.
Hold on.
Klein, write down your answer.
Hold on. Wait, they have separate favorite.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Say it again. Don't answer yet.
What is their favorite food? This should be pretty simple because you're the one mainly feeding them every single day, and I'm sure if they have a favorite food, they've made it very well known.
Okay.
And so... Are you writing it down?
Yeah, I'm writing it down. But listen, girls, don't try to be funny here. I need a real answer.
Okay, I'll do peanut.
Stop. Last warning.
That's a highly problematic favorite food.
If you say it again, Sienna, you're also not on your microphone like we told you. If you say it again, you're gonna have to leave the studio. I'm not playing games anymore.
Wow, what a punishment! All right, girls. We'll start with you, Olivia. What is your favorite food?
Answer it honestly. Or else you can't win a prize either.
I know you're thinking about throwing the whole thing out the window.
Do not throw the game. What is your favorite food?
Cucumber rolls.
That's not.
All right, Sienna, what's your favorite food?
Never had that. She's never had that. Sienna, what is your real favorite food?
Mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Pasta.
Okay. All right, turn your answer over, Klein.
I wrote mac and cheese and chicken.
Chicken?
Ew.
Well, chicken.
What kind of a favorite food is chicken?
I don't like that. I like cucumber rolls.
Now they're crying.
All right, fine.
Okay.
So that one was
question number two. I thought that was an easy one.
That was a practice question, I thought.
No, there's no practice questions. That would take way too long.
Sienna, don't cry. Sienna, the game just started.
All right.
I was kidding. Daddy was being funny.
Question number two. What is the name of their best friends?
They're best friends. One each, I'm going to write?
One each. If they have the same best friend, then go ahead and write that down. But, if you're dropping them off at play dates and they have birthday parties and all kinds of things, you should probably know who their friend circle is, especially their best friend.
Who's that one with the snot? Hold on. I'm gonna write. Don't help me. I know.
Are you trying to give him hints, Santa? That's
hold on,
nice
we gotta
of you.
win this TV. All right, Olivia's gonna say something different to try to throw the game. I can already tell.
So now you're trying to guess what she's going to guess?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I think she's going to say cucumber roll again.
I think she's going to say Bo Jackson.
I'm gonna write Bo Jackson down. All right, I got to guess now. All right, do I know my kid's best friend? I think I do.
All right, Olivia, who is your best friend? Give me a name.
My best friend is Olivia D.
I didn't write that, but
wait, your best friend is another girl named Olivia?
they're all Olivias. That's the only names they have
all
these
right,
days.
Sienna, who is your best friend?
Luca.
I wrote down that one. I got one
Okay.
right. See, I got Luca right, and I wrote Dylan as your best friend. She's not your best friend, Dylan?
No, she's my friend, but she's not my best friend.
Oh, my
damn.
God.
All right, I'll give you a half a point on that.
Jesus.
You could get Luca. And then the final question.
How close are we to getting the TV?
Well, you only have half a point. So.
Oh, man. Girls, we got to work together here. It's Father's
And
Day.
I wasn't even going to give you the point for mac and cheese because she said pasta as her favorite food. But
it's
here's
because of that song. She wanted us to play the Penis Pasta song that she sang.
Goddamn, that's a good tune.
It's a great song.
No,
All right.
sing it. Do it.
All right, girls, and then finally,
don't have it.
what do your girls want to be when they grow up? This was also a part of Sienna's graduation from kindergarten.
Yep,
She said what she wanted to be when she grew up. I'm sure that if you talk to your kids on any regular basis, you would know this. And
Right.
the unfortunate thing is that Klein has to write these down, and I can't read anything that he's writing.
I'm ready. I got them both.
All right, girls. Olivia, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Say it. Say what you want to be for real. No jokes.
That's you saying that. No jokes.
I know. No jokes.
Can you say
What
what
an
you
authoritarian.
what you want to be?
I want to be.
Say into the microphone. If I don't get this TV, girls, it's not going to be a good summer.
Sephora worker.
Oh, that's great. Okay, and then Sienna, what do you want to be when you grow up?
A basketball player.
Okay. I wrote down she wants to be a basketball NBA player. She wants to be the NBA, not the WNBA.
I said I want to be a
Did you just write Starbucks
worker?
I wroght Starbucks worker. I thought you wanted to be a Starbucks worker.
Well, you spelled worker wrong, first of all.
I got yours right, Sienna. So now she's crying.
She's crying again. All right, that was
Here, this will make her happy.
All right. Yeah, that was a total of 1 point out of 3. You're not doing well.
So
let's go to.
Hold on, we got to play a song, and then we'll get to the second round.
She doesn't even like us. You're doing cucumber rolls. She doesn't like that.
Oh, you're literally making her kids cry.
I'm not making them cry.
Now you want I hate you.
Okay.
Whoa.
Damn.
I'm going to play that song?
Hold on.
No, I hate you. Play the song. Play the song.
We're going to play this song. When we come back, round 2, it's going to all turn around, girls. It's going to be a Father's Day miracle next,
Play
KROQ.
penis pasta.
Klein.
KROQ, we are Klein Alli's show. $100 up for grabs every morning right around this time. It's Alli's money, but it could be yours to win her money on a Thrifty Thursday when she celebrates her cheapness, which we'll be doing later this morning. Oh, yeah, that's right. We got the El Chipo to get to, and today she's going to be celebrating your cheap dads, getting ready for Father's Day. Everyone's dads have the ability to be the best, and she even says as El Chipo, it's hard to compete with a lifelong cheap dad that's figured out ways to cheap out on all sorts of things.
Well, because they're surrounded by people who want to spend money. Usually, I mean, if we're going stereotypes here, the wife's like, we need a new couch, and then he has to make a case for why you don't need a new couch.
Yep.
And then the kids are like, I want this new toy, I want this thing, and then he's having to explain no, and
Right.
he has to get creative.
Most of my day is spent turning off lights and And I realized that is when I officially felt like a dad, when I was just going from room to room, turning off lights and going, why am I doing this
That is your
all
existence.
day? That is the only reason I think I'm there. It's the only benefit I bring to the family is just turning off lights. If I didn't do that, I don't think that it would
Once
just
they get a clapper, it's over.
Yeah, I'm replaceable. So easily replaceable. Let's get into it now. 5 questions and make you $100 richer. Let's say hi to Alexandra, who would like a shot at your money this morning. Good morning, Alexandra. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi, good morning. It's actually Alejandra, but you can call me Alexandra.
Alejandra, much sexier. We've got 5 questions standing between you and Alli's riches, and she will leave the KROQ studios. If you don't believe us, you can watch her walking out on YouTube. She is streaming live right now, exiting, and she is shaking her ass on the way out. Hopefully you answer these questions quickly, confidently, and accurately, and we pay the people. And tomorrow morning you'll have a chance to play this game again, and you can battle anyone on the show. It's a Pick Your Poison Friday, and potentially also a $500 Friday. But right now, your questions will begin. Here we go.
Alli knows the news.
Oh, tragic story to wake up to, but another day, another plane crash, this time with like 242 people on board. Which airline went down?
It was Air India.
Question number 2. Alli knows the news. Learn a thing or two and also potentially get more money. 20,000 cans of this soda have been recalled. What soda is in the middle of a big recall affecting many states?
I believe it's Dr. Pepper Zero.
Question 3. This legendary musician sadly passed away at the age of 82. Here's a hint.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA.
Ooh, I don't know his name. The guy from the Beach Boys.
Question 4. Question 4. Costco will now let customers who pay for their executive membership get what additional perk?
You get to come in early.
And finally, Omar will care about this question, but this KROQ classic just passed 2 billion views on YouTube. Which KROQ classic now has 2 billion video views on YouTube?
Ooh.
Pass.
Omar, you cannot pass for the player.
Okay, sorry.
I know you care more than anyone. Omar loves keeping track of YouTube counts.
I don't know.
Any guess? Any guess?
I don't know. Your Jello fights or wrestling, whatever they were.
All right. You're talking about hot women wrestling in oil? Great guess.
Green Jello.
Green Jello. Love green Jello. Let's bring Alli in. We'll score it together. Hold on. Don't say anything else. Alli, you're battling Alejandra. Here we go. Question number 1.
Yeah.
Sad day to wake up to. Another day, another plane crash. This one with 242 people on board. Which airline went down?
Air India.
She said that as well. The correct answer is Air India, a flight that I think was going from India to London. And sadly, it crashed a minute after takeoff. I'm sure we'll learn more about that later this morning, but you are tied up 1-1, and we go to question number 2. A massive, well, not massive yet, but soon-to-be massive soda recall. 20,000 cans, multiple states. What soda has officially been recalled? Yesterday, you had a soda question that you got all angry about because you said it was something about
because
Cherry
I said
Coke,
Cherry Coke,
and
you said more specific, and I said Diet Cherry Coke.
That was about a soda coming back. Today's about a soda going away because of a recall. Which one is it?
Is it that Olipop crap?
Oh, it's not the Olipop crap. It is Dr. Pepper, which is exactly what Alejandra guessed. So she is up by 1. We go to question number 3, and Alli is in a hole, which is where she likes to be most.
Nice
question 3. This legendary musician died at the age of 82. Here's a hint.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA.
Love it. Brian Wilson.
She said the guy from the Beach Boys, and she is right, but we did need the name, so Alli has tied it up by giving us the name.
If I didn't get Diet Cherry Coke yesterday, then she doesn't get...
That's fine. She knew it, but she didn't know it, so Brian Wilson, Alli gets the point. We go to question number 4. Costco will now let customers who pay for its exclusive membership do what? What additional perk will they get?
They get to enter the store before the other card members.
All right. She said that as well.
Wow.
So here we are now. This is very exciting. Going into the 5th and final question. It all comes down to this.
Oh, man.
If Alli gets it right and she does not, you win. You hold on to your money. If she gets it right and you do not, you pay the people. If it's a tie, then once again the money goes back in your pocket too. This KROQ classic just passed 2 billion views on YouTube.
Evanescence. Bring Me to Life.
Is that your guess, really?
Wait, what's the question?
That's your guess. I cannot accept. We update that one all the time. That one's only at like 1.5 billion views. Nowhere close. What is the song that we play more than any other song probably in the history of KROQ?
Smells Like Teen Spirit?
That's the one. Unfortunately, I cannot accept it. Ty goes to the house. You put in a decent effort, Alejandra, but what must you shamefully admit over the airwaves of KROQ? Go ahead.
My name is Alejandra, and Alli knows the news.
I like you, though. Maybe a rematch.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow, where the $500 Fridays return. Oh, it's so catchy. Just say it a few times.
Oh, man, what a battle, a showdown that would be.
$500 Fridays.
Against Alejandra?
Back tomorrow morning, about 24 hours from right now. You battling anyone on the show for the big $500 cash prize on KROQ. KROQ, we are a Klein Alli show. I think you will rethink any sort of live concert you ever go to again, including festivals, when you hear what we have to tell you. It's a whole new way people are looking at going to live shows. We'll get to that in just a second. But quickly, Robert on the phones this morning at 800-520-1067. What's up, Robert?
I just want to say thank you guys so much for that TV. It's amazing. It's huge.
Oh, you got the TV. Johnny delivered it to you.
Johnny came out and delivered it to me yesterday, and came out, took pictures with my son, and they were just all happy to meet him.
Have you taken the TV out of the box yet? I always feel like unboxing a new TV, for me, is about as exciting as any moment ever. And I have been in the room when my wife gave birth to 2 children, and I will tell you that unboxing a TV brings me so much more joy.
Oh, yeah, I already took it out and had it started setting it up, too.
Yeah, it's massive, right? Way bigger than you even thought, right? When you see it in your own house, it really puts into perspective how big these TVs are we're giving away this week, right?
Oh, yeah, it's huge. Yeah. I can't believe it.
Do you think you even have a wall big enough for this television?
Go ceiling above the bed.
It takes over the whole entire wall.
Great. Good. All right. Well, congratulations. I'm thrilled that we're starting to give these out to people. And, Robert, happy early Father's Day to you. Enjoy it.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to you, Klein. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's great that we found a way for people to ignore their family even more by watching giant TVs.
Yeah, but it's weird because it kind of brought them together.
Yeah,
He's like, I took pictures with my son and everything. And, you can do us a favor and put our live stream on YouTube when you get that TV working, because I'd like to see us in 98-inch
See how
capacity.
thick. Let's see how big Alli's forehead can really look on a big TV. Hey, Robert, thank you, and enjoy it. And you don't have to answer this out loud, but if you're on a life raft that's going down and you have the TV and your son on the life raft, you can only save one. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking maybe the TV.
Okay, fair enough. You didn't have to answer that out loud.
It's
but
absurd that the TV would be on the life raft.
Well, you got to take what's important. That's one of the first
Sink
things
the
I
life
grab.
raft.
Listen, I remember the last time there was an earthquake in my place. My wife was in the bathroom, and she ran out. I was holding my dog with one hand and had the TV on the wall with my other hand. She's like, really? Those are the two things you care about? I'm like, yeah, you can fend for yourself.
It was also held up with Velcro, right?
I put it on, not Velcro, it was double-sided tape. A lot of it.
It was even worse.
Yeah.
A lot
of double-sided tape. Anyway, if you want to win a giant TV and feel as happy as that guy is, we'll have a chance for you coming up next hour on the show.
You can hear it in his voice.
All you have to do is just tell us why you believe you truly do have the world's best dad or are the world's best dad, and you could leave here with a giant TCL 98-inch TV. So if you go to concerts this summer, and I always feel like summer is officially concert time. It usually kicks off with Coachella, and then there's just a ton of shows, outdoor shows. It's a good time to see a show. You may rethink everything when there's this new approach to how people are looking at spending money to go to shows, because it's not cheap, and you start adding up parking and merch and everything else. You can go a couple $100 night out. Even if you win the tickets from us on KROQ, you still got a lot of expenses.
Well, and if you think about some of the recent tours, like Coldplay's tour and Taylor Swift's tour, Beyonce, there are these very high production tours going on, so you have higher expectations, right? And you're going to pay more, but you're also expecting more than just an artist singing behind a microphone.
And that Coldplay show was a little bogus because you had to hop on a bike for an hour to power the entire thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, what the hell are you doing, Chris Martin?
If you stopped pedaling in place or stopped recycling your compostable cup, the lights went out, and you couldn't even enjoy the show.
That's not what happened.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I think he told us that.
Absolutely.
Everyone had to power the show because the guy wants to save the earth. So someone has broken down mathematically what you are paying per song at a show. And I think in some ways this will turn into girl math, where people will say, it's a deal because I'm only paying $38 a song and it's totally worth it. But other people will look at it and go, is it really worth going to a live show if you break it down and at the end of it you say, you know what, I was paying $10 per song that I actually saw while I was there. Was it actually worth it?
Well, that just makes me think it would...
Thank you, Jake.
Come on.
I can't hear that word. That expression.
$0 per song.
That was.
Come on.
Thank you, Klein. Come on.
But it makes me think. I wish I could pay you by the song. Like, I wish that I could pay half the price for a ticket, knowing I would see half the show and only pay per song.
Pay per the songs you want, because everyone knows if you go to see a band or an artist you like, there will be songs that you want to miss. Like, I don't want to miss that song.
Right.
That's the song I want to see.
Like, it's $15 for this song, but then this random deep cut is going to be like $5.
Well,
yeah, but what if you see like a band like MGMT and they don't do any of the hits?
Well, and that's for you would want to refund.
Get your money back,
I guess.
Okay.
They broke that Coldplay you mentioned, so I'll talk about this one. They claimed that if you went and saw the most recent Coldplay tour, and I know we sent a bunch of listeners to that, you were paying about $12 per song, $12.16 per song, and it worked out to roughly $2.33 a minute
and
that you were at the show.
150 calories.
And you burned 1,000 calories to power the stadium, which is a great workout. It's a routine. But then there's other ones where, like, if you went to let's say Bad Bunny, one of those shows, guy took over, I think it was SoFi, did a bunch of shows there. You were only paying $10 a song or $2 a minute. And the most expensive of recent tours was Beyonce and Lady Gaga, where you were paying north of $13, almost $14 per song.
Right.
And it worked out to $2.50 a minute just to be at that show. And if you think of concerts like that, is a minute worth $2? $2.50 doesn't feel like a lot of money. But you max add that up, and then it's a way to make the shows feel either more affordable or less affordable, then depending.
I wonder then if Taylor Swift, because she notably had one of the most expensive concerts, but she also performed for like 3.5 hours. So you got a lot of songs.
And she also had like 3 openers. Like Beyonce's tour, no opener.
Exactly.
It was just her. Yeah.
And so when I went to Taylor Swift, it was like 4.5 hours of music. So it was insane.
The most expensive, it's funny, Omar, you mentioned Beyonce. Hers worked out to roughly $3.30 a minute, paying close to $14 a song for the Beyonce. Now, they're talking about Oasis, obviously, the reunion tour. Tickets sold very quickly. Also sent a bunch of people to that show. You're paying almost Beyonce prices on the cost per song, but it's actually cheaper per minute. So Oasis, $13.60 a song, almost exactly the same you'd pay for Beyonce on a per song.
Right.
However, breaks down to only $1.80 a minute.
But then would you rather just go to shows of upcoming bands where it's like, okay, I'm going to pay $30-$40 for this ticket and I'm going to get a bunch of songs maybe that I haven't heard yet but I might enjoy, and my expectations are lower and I could probably see better, and why don't I just go to a show like that instead of spending $700 on a ticket to like Katy Perry's tour, which is supposed to be very expensive and also terrible. But she made an 11-year-old girl eat her cotton candy shoe.
Well, see, I'd pay for that.
Wow.
I'm paying extra
was that
for
on OnlyFans or on the stage?
She on the stage. She was like, let me get someone up from the audience. And then this 11-year-old girl came up, and you're like, that happens a lot of these shows.
Problematic,
and she took off her shoe, which was made of cotton candy, and was like, do you want to eat this? And the little girl was like, I don't know what to do here.
See, but at least you got a little something extra there.
Like, it's just gotten so weird. And then Justin Timberlake's tour, everybody was crapping on because he apparently just dances like a dad now, and he can't even
really?
keep rhythm. Yeah, there's all these videos of him being like a pop and a lock and a pop a lock.
But that's really
and
what
you're like, I paid all this money for what?
But that's, I think, what you are paying for, because you're not really paying. The per song is a weird way to look at it, because you are paying for all of the unexpected things that are happening, or the random cameo they bring out, or the surprises that you're going to have FOMO if you were not there for.
Or the viral video of you posting Justin Timberlake not knowing how to dance.
Right. Or think of it if you're one of those guys that holds the sign up to Dave Grohl and says, I've never gone on stage. Get up here and grab a guitar and start playing with me, because those are the things. So think about it. If you need an excuse to go to a show that probably you shouldn't waste your money on, you could break it down and say mathematically it's a deal. I know people do this all the time with festivals, because they go, it's only like 34 cents per band. And you go, well, yeah, that's true.
I really can't believe that you understand any of these numbers.
I don't, Jake, to be honest. I don't. But the real question is, guys, is it worth it?
Come on.
KROQ, miss something? Don't get SHOMO. Download the Klein Alli Show podcast. Then find it on a platform thingy and subscribe or whatever.
KROQ.
Roger Danger.
Klein Alli Show.
KROQ, the world famous KROQ.
KROQ, we are Klein Alli Show, and in the studio now, I have actual children, and they are here. And it's time for some Father's Day fun. It's on Sunday, and Alli wanted to prove that I didn't know my kids, and she's asked me some questions. Round one didn't go great.
Nope, you got 1 point out of 3.
And how many points do I need to get to try to win this giant TV?
You know what? I'm going to be really nice to you. 3 total points.
Girls, we got to get 2 points this round.
So all you need is 2 more points,
all right,
okay, to get this TV.
All right.
Do not want the TV.
All right.
And again, you
clear.
all as a family need to agree that this TV is something that you want.
We do. Trust me.
I don't want
Now, during that break, Klein tried to give his daughter a nice TLC, which was awkward. And also, I gave you 3 questions that you've written down the answers to.
So here we go. Now we flip the script now, girls. You have to answer these honestly. We're going to see if you know me at all. Right? Here we go.
If we don't get it, then we don't get a TV. But I don't want the TV.
All right. Well,
girls, if there is something else that you want, we have alternate prizes.
Oh, yeah.
So you do want to do well on this.
You do not want to trade prizes. Do not fall for Alli's scams.
I do.
It could be a TV or it could be some other things. Just
other things.
Okay.
Well,
we'll reveal what those other options are, but they're going to be things that you want. So play this seriously.
TV's not boring. It's the best thing on the planet.
All right. What is something that makes your daddy really, really mad?
I wrote down my answer. So, girls, what do you think is what makes me really the most mad?
If I hit you.
Okay. That does make me mad.
Abuse.
Okay. Olivia, what makes me so mad?
If we...
Don't try to be funny. Just answer the question.
There are real prizes here, Olivia.
If we yell and scream and you yell.
Okay. I wrote not when they don't listen. Is that a batch?
That's really rough.
That's a
bit of a leap.
All right, that one's a throw out. We got 2 questions left. We got to get these both right.
Yelling, screaming, and hitting were their answers.
Well, once again, they hit me. I don't hit them. Let's just make that very clear for the record.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right. What is your daddy's favorite thing to watch on TV? He obviously loves TV, and he wants to have this big, giant TV in your house. So what is your daddy's favorite thing to watch on television?
I think football. Can't copy me.
You guys can both have the same answer if you want.
No, she can't.
Yeah, Olivia. Relax.
Okay.
The B movie?
The B movie?
Oh my God, you loser.
They watch the B movie. I don't watch the B movie.
The fox and the...
Oh.
Whoa.
What did she say? Did she just cuss?
Oh
my God, you said those so casually.
Wait, guys, I have something.
Go.
He also likes...
Guys, honestly, you got to stop.
Actually, the Minions.
Okay.
Oh my God, Minions? That's worse than B movie.
The correct answer, I wrote sports. She said sports.
All right.
I have to say
I will give you the point.
He likes to watch Princess movies.
Okay. I will give you the point because Olivia said football.
All right, thank you. Finally. God damn. Excuse me.
Is this what 15 minutes in your house is like?
Chaos.
This is exhausting.
Jerry.
All right, and then finally, what is the grossest thing that your daddy does?
All right, the answer.
Poop.
Thank you.
Okay, and Olivia?
So this is the story. So, okay, I'm in the bathroom. I'll be back in 5 minutes. 3 hours later, I'm in the bathroom for 5 minutes, and he's always taking the bathroom for so long, and he has so much gas in his belly.
Look what I wrote. I wrote fart.
Okay.
And I was about to say fart after.
Okay, yeah, I'll accept that late answer of fart as well. Guys, you've gotten to 3 points, which means
we've won the TV.
Well, hold on a second. You could take home this TV right now, girls. Or, Johnny, will you bring in a couple of alternate prizes and see if the girls would rather go home with...
Oh, no, he's bringing in
this
candy.
plate of donuts.
No. Yes.
No, do not trade a TV for donuts and Twizzlers, guys. They're already eating it.
Okay, or...
She's throwing it. She's so mad.
You could also, if you want to throw all that out, I'll give you 100 Robux.
Ooh. No, I'm throwing all that out.
Okay. All right, well, now one of my kids is crying. We've officially done our job here.
And another one has just bought herself new screen time.
Well, so let this be a cautionary tale for all of you fathers celebrating Father's Day that bringing your own kids to work is sometimes a very overrated concept. It's KROQ. show. We'll get to your news now that a brand new hour can officially begin. It will be the greatest hour of your life, especially if you think you have the best dad ever or are the best dad ever. Coffee mugs have been lying to us for years, but a giant 98-inch TCL QM6 TV can't possibly lie, and that is the ultimate gift to give any dad in your life. Trust me when I say I speak on behalf of all dads. A giant TV is the greatest gift that you can receive. Everything will look better and bigger, and we'll make it happen for you coming up again in not that long, about 30 minutes. If you think that you have the best dad ever or are the best dad ever, give us one reason why, and you can end up with a giant TV. But right now, let's get into it. It's time for your ADD News.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
All right, this is something that will make you rethink any summer travel plans that you have. We have another commercial airline crash, and that one that happened in D.C. was the first that had happened in a long period of time. They say crashes like this are really rare, that in general flying is much safer than driving. Then, of course, you have all the Boeing problems that have been causing emergency landings and whatnot. Now we have another commercial airline crash, and it is a very large plane, a 787 jet with Air India, crashed in India about 1 minute after takeoff, and they suspect there are no survivors. There were 242 people on board, and what's even worse is that they crashed into the medical dorm of a hospital and then exploded. God. So the tail of the plane at one point was just sticking out of the hospital building. The pilot gave a mayday call 1 minute after takeoff, so something obviously had gone wrong right away. The plane was traveling to London. It was barely even in the air when it crashed, so it didn't get very high. And then it's just unfortunate that it crashed where it did and then caused the explosion. So, I mean, it's just, I know they're still kind of going through the wreckage and everything, but they said it's not looking good. Like, if you look at these pictures, it's just devastation and wreckage.
Can't figure out why this is continuing where, they always say, like, the best time to fly is right after a plane crash. Totally. Because everyone's kind of double-checking, triple-checking. And now it seems like this is the worst time to fly. It just keeps on happening.
Well, in the D.C. one, they were quick to say, hey, this doesn't happen very often. It's been so long since we've had a commercial airline crash like this. I can't remember the amount of years that it had been before a big crash like that happened. But now this is within a year?
And also all the close calls, because now we're getting more and more footage of close calls. I mean, there was even just the stuff that didn't end up, tragic, like the guy that was holding up the airplane with his hands because it was falling apart in the middle of the sky. Remember that video?
Yes.
And then there's the people all the close calls of the planes that were almost landing into each other on the runway.
Well, and the air traffic control
guys
is a big problem.
Yeah. Remember when Vanessa booked us that ground traffic control guy that we never put on the air?
Oh, my God, let it go.
Yeah, we were so excited to talk to a real-life air traffic controller.
We should get that guy back on.
We should.
I think it's timely.
He keeps asking us on the Instagram why we never aired his segment, and it was because we really wanted to talk to an active guy who was working air traffic control, and Vanessa booked us a guy that was responsible for ground traffic control.
Yeah, we don't have the heart to tell him that we were not interested in the left-hand turns.
Yeah, he's like...
and the pulling of the gate.
Right, when they pull in and out of the gate is when I shine.
I just follow the guy with the cones,
right?
The cone arms, and that's about it.
But if we could get an air traffic control guy on, I would love to ask him all these questions.
Yeah. All right, Brian Wilson, the fearless leader of the Beach Boys, has left the beach. He's now at the beach in heaven. And there was a lot of reaction to this yesterday. Nicole Alvarez was very upset about it. Surfer Jay in the building was really, really upset. Apparently he was crying. Yeah, and there have been a lot of people that have been paying tribute. Paul McCartney, Bob Dylan, many others that were, of course, big in that generation as well. I was actually looking at this old LA Times article. This was the first article that they had written about the Beach Boys. And just listen to this. Brace yourself for a shock. The average teenage girl in the U.S. spends $8 to $10 a month for rock and roll records. So just who are the Beach Boys?
Wow.
Don't ask the teenagers around your domicile, or you'll rate a contemptuous look. It would likely be like inquiring the average adult, who's Bing Crosby, or Perry Como, or Frank Sinatra? And then they go in to talk about the Beach Boys and how they're revolutionizing music.
Hey, those songs were super catchy. And definitely way before my time when they first popped. But I remember growing up watching that show Full House, and it was a big deal that John Stamos was somehow involved with the Beach Boys. And look, of all the tributes that you'll see, I don't know if there's a better tribute than this one.
Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take ya. Bermuda, Bahamas, come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we go? Jamaica. Of the Florida Keys.
Should point out this is Bob Dylan's tribute. So Bob Dylan, as you know, questionable singing voice, but they're a beautiful.
I think he sounds
tribute.
better.
Yeah, they're the best he's
Usually
ever sounded.
Yeah, this one sounds great.
Bob Dylan must have taken singing lessons.
There's a place called Kokomo.
No, there's not a place.
There isn't a place called Kokomo.
That is, that's not what it's called, Vanessa.
There's a.
I go Kokomo every time I wake up.
We need more tiny towels with the Kokomo.
Yeah.
That's where you wanna go to get away from it all.
She's telling the truth. I'd love to get away from a place called Kokomo.
There's a lot of people who would love to go to Kokomo.
Sand, tropical drinks melting in your hand.
There's something else in your
We'll
hand.
be falling in love to the rhythm of the street drum band.
Anyway, that's just one of the many tributes. We got more throughout the morning. Here's a tease, because we are celebrating the legendary music catalog of the great Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA.
I don't want to give it all away now, but the tributes will be pouring in all morning long.
Well, Vanessa said she was actually familiar with several Beach Boys songs because you learned them in school, right, Vanessa?
Yeah, I learned them in elementary school. Chorus.
Oh, you were in the chorus?
Yeah, I didn't want to learn an instrument.
This is how she learned English, because the Beach Boys taught her English, she said. So that's really exciting.
Is that what she said?
Well, no, I just made that up, but it sounds like a good story. Yeah.
All right, El Cheapo has come across something wonderful that I wanted to share. I told you about how I'm now a big points person. I booked my holiday vacation for 3 people, all on points. But here's something that you can do to level it up. Why be the only one building up credit and points in your house when your baby can also be earning points and credit too? Here is a woman, my new hero, who has opened credit cards for every single one of her children, and at 1 and 2 years old, they are already earning rewards that you can reap the benefits from.
She likes to buy Cheerios with her credit card. Cheerios and what else? Water bottles. Fiji water bottles. That's it.
Also real are the credit cards.
Sounds crazy.
She's my hero. Shut up.
Oh, my God.
We all have heroes.
So she opened up a credit card in her baby's name.
Well, she has a credit card, and then she puts her kids as authorized users on them so that her kids can build credit.
Babies, Aria, and...
I don't really understand fully, but if she were to just have her own credit card and buy whatever crap the kid's going to buy, isn't she going to reap those same rewards? Or do they change because it's a baby?
Well, the thing is, your baby is still building up their credit score. So
but they're a baby. It doesn't matter.
Well, that's
now,
where you're
of course
wrong,
it matters.
Omar.
Eventually it matters when they're older and they have an 800-plus credit score because they started reaping the benefits when they were one.
they're not going through the struggle that you need to go through to understand everything because they're babies.
And out of curiosity, if the mom tanks and she starts defaulting on the credit card, not paying the minimums, does she also mess up the baby's
great
credit?
Question.
Because if the mom becomes some sort of a deadbeat loser, and she sounds like she could snap at any moment based on that
she's living the best life. She's drinking Fiji water.
How annoying would that be if the baby...
That's when you know you made it.
Baby gets in... Yeah, well, that's going to be
we have
her
like
downfall.
one case of Fiji that we only give to guests around
I
here.
know. Allie keeps a special bottle of water for when guests come over, so they think that she's successful.
And then she keeps the bottle and then refills it.
Yeah. If her kid needs drink, it's at the hose in the driveway.
You got tap inside the Fiji bottles.
That's right.
All right, that's what you do.
And Gemma have 2 cards each.
I do take her to Target every week to buy her cheese crackers. She taps and pay, and we check out and leave.
Shannon says with every tap, the kids are securing their financial futures.
Can you tap? Oh, good job.
I'm so proud.
That's not how it works. Trust
I
me.
want to punch that lady in the face.
I do
She's
too.
doing great.
All right.
What is she doing?
She's teaching them the value of credit and $1.
No, she's not.
No, if you're a kid,
You don't understand any of that.
You just realize how you can tap and get free cheese crackers. That's amazing. We get into a brand new hour of the show. We do it right now. Here we go.
Klein Alli Show.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Good morning. Welcome to KROQ. Just after 8 o'clock. It is the pre-Quen, so you should be in a great mood as we get into another summer weekend here. Summer hours have officially begun, so you get this show live until 11 a.m. every single morning, whether you want it or not.
Just this week, though, right?
No, I think they're going to continue it.
Oh, man.
Oh, well.
It's my body is not adjusting correctly.
It's weird because you feel like it's permanent daylight saving time.
It's weird.
Like you feel jet lagged.
Yes. I am confused all day, every day now. It is very strange. I know it doesn't seem like it's much of a change, but when you get used to a certain schedule, everything feels very off.
Yes, I know.
It's been my schedule for like over 20 years.
I
and
know.
now I'm like, what the hell is happening?
I know. I'm like, is it lunchtime? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll be with you straight up through 11 a.m. this morning. And between now and then, we got lots to give you, including giant TVs and tiny towels. Whenever you hear us play that beautiful song, Kokomo, throughout the morning, it'll happen when you least expect it. But when you hear us play Kokomo, you call in for your tiny towel. So when you hear this...
Bodies in the sand, tropical drinks melting in your hand.
We're going to, when you hear clips of that throughout the show, call in and we'll give you a very special tiny towel, courtesy of your friends at Klein Alli Show.
She was in the chorus.
This
in her
hour?
elementary school.
By the way, I think that song's R-rated. Kokomo?
It is a very not safe for work song. So we'll get into why your dad is the best, if you believe he is worthy of the best dad in the world mug, or potentially a giant TV. Want to hear why this hour on the show? Lots to get into. We will give away this giant TCL TV this hour, and much more happening this morning. KROQ, Klein Alli Show. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming back for more. Good morning. KROQ, we are Klein Alli Show. We're going to take a deep dive into Jake's journal in just a moment. Jake originally was forced to start journaling as part of a forced resolution that he's landed on 2 years in a row. But he realized that it is working wonders, I think, for his mental health. And as a result, he is continuing to journal. And every once in a while, when we see him scribbling away, we say, you know what? Let's hear what you're writing about. Last time we heard Jake is attempting to date. Hey, by the way, I just saw that, Jake, you know, I don't know what you're currently on dating app-wise, but you just popped up. Your profile just got, the algorithm served you up to Vanessa as a possible date for her. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Vanessa, you received Jake as a someone you should look into dating. I saw you got his profile. I don't know what it was, but it looks like it's a picture of you holding Kibby, like with sunglasses on. It must be your dating.
Thirst trap photo.
Yeah, it looks like you're trying to be all sexy and whatnot, seductive.
I wasn't trying to be sexy. I was just very relaxed.
But
Vanessa, was this served up to you?
This is the picture I see.
A listener sent it to us how they stumbled upon Jake and they were surprised
Oh,
They
this,
were like, he looks normal.
oh, this one. I thought you sent this. Vanessa.
He looks normal.
This is what the listener said. Literally, this popped up for memo. Facebook dating. What the actual... First of all, there's no way he's 47. Second of all, he looks normal in his picture.
He does look normal. I thought that this was served to you because you're single.
No, I don't have Facebook. Facebook's not for me.
But you do get served up people that you should date in the algorithm, right?
But Jake is not in my age group.
Yeah, but Vanessa, let's be honest.
This was served
That's
to
another
me.
thing that children say, by the way.
This was served to the listener, and I found it interested, and I sent it to you.
But here's a question. I'm serious. Would you be opposed to? You're single. Jake is single.
No.
Hold
That
on.
is not a question.
I haven't
Don't
finished-
finish your question.
I haven't finished asking the question.
It's not a good one.
If
I
at-
already know.
If at the end of the summer, both of you are still single, like Labor Day, let's say, would you be
on a date?
open to going
No,
on?
because Jake is closer to my mom's age than my age. No, thank you.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but
Jake.
age is just a number, Vanessa, and more
Not
and more
for
people
me,
are.
Listen,
are
not for me. Also, Jake is my coworker. No, thanks.
Yeah, this sounds so weird. It sounds like you're setting up my cousin with my uncle, bro.
Yeah, guys, weirdos.
But what if you were just to go on a friend date and just like two people going on a date? We could roll audio and listen to how a date would sound with both. And by the way, not for you guys to get romantic with each other, but we could hear how both of you date, and then listeners.
I've been on a friend date with Jake when we went to get the burgers. What was that, Jake?
Oh, yeah, In and Out after the Oscars.
Yeah, I've done that with Jake twice. That, and then remember when we went to Long Beach?
No, but
I
love you. Oh, damn.
Wow,
This
that
is
sounds real. Okay, that wasn't
This
it.
is that.
hot
Guys,
and heavy.
don't make it a thing that it's not.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think that you guys have. I don't think you would work together as a couple, but I think it would be fun to hear how a date would sound.
What a train wreck it would be.
between the two of you, like a date.
Yeah, but Klein, you do
Yeah,
hear
let's
the.
hear that between you and Jake Klein. Let's see how that would sound.
I would go,
I would love-
I would go out on a date with Jake. So, all right, so you do one, I
That's
do one.
not true. I've asked you to go out with me, and you said no.
Well, yeah, I'm very busy these days.
They went on a road trip together to Big Bear.
Yeah, I've driven with Jake. I've spent many hours in the car with Jake. I've heard his boring stories over and over again.
Guys, Jake's taken. He's dating a porn star.
Well,
okay?
we don't know if he is or he's not. He claims he matched with one, and then they were going to connect. And I'll tell you, it has fired up the goat line, too. I mean,
Yo, Jake, what's going on, dude? I heard you're starting to date a porn star, man. If she ever lets you put it in, dude, you got to pick a side of the.
Okay, it's too graphic for this hour of the morning.
Yikes.
But Jake, here is. Let's. I know you wrote about this in your journal, I believe. So let's get into it. It's time for a deep dive into Jake's most intimate moment, his journal.
In this time of turmoil and national attention in our fair city, when voices from outside are trying to make it seem we're not the loving and inclusive community that we are, I think it's important to keep in mind one of the things that makes Los Angeles truly great. And that is how every laundromat is in the same strip mall as a liquor store. I don't know if it's a triumph of architecture or city planning or what, but it's awesome, and I love it. Because doing laundry sober is worse than doing karaoke sober. It might be the worst thing to do sober. I want to crack a beer while my stains disappear. I want to feel dope while I'm adding the soap.
Oh, my God.
I want to feel like I'm winning when my clothes are all spinning.
Yeesh.
And I want to feel spun when my laundry's all done.
Oh, there's so many.
Anyways, I wrote this while at the laundromat. Good night, Journal. I love you.
All right, Jake, I think these journal entries are just your way of working out stand-up on the show, and I wish you would take your journal seriously.
No, you used to
That's
get
serious.
you used to get all emotional and like write about your inner thoughts and desires.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I want to hear about how you really feel.
You have another entry in there anywhere, or is it
Sure.
just more jokey stuff?
Sure.
Are there more laundry puns and rhymes that we can look forward
Picking
to?
up where I left off, I like Tide when I'm riding that ride.
That didn't make any sense.
It makes a lot more sense than your stupid rhymes. Go ahead.
Even though I live alone in the Jake Shack and have never had anyone over and haven't slept in the same bed with a girlfriend in almost 2 years and have no prospects to ever do so again, I've noticed that for some reason I still sleep on the edge of the bed.
Oh.
It's like I'm sleeping while making room for the ghost of a past lover, or at least the ghost of a woman that I've disappointed.
Aww.
Maybe subconsciously I'm doing it so on that slim chance I get another girlfriend, it won't be a difficult sleeping transition.
Oh.
What if I get too comfortable and used to sleeping in the middle of the bed, I might not ever be able to go back to the edge.
Right.
But since it's a distinct possibility that I will never have to again, I'm going to try to take full advantage of my single situation and see how it feels to sleep directly in the middle of the bed. Anyways, good night, Journal. I love you.
But
that was interesting.
That's a nice, very sad, but still a very nice journal entry right there. That sounds like something
it needs more rhymes.
you really, no, it does not.
No, it does not. And you know what? If Vanessa wouldn't take up any space in the bed.
I don't want to date a child.
Stop with this. I want to rock
Welcome back to KROQ Summer Session. Today's lesson, how to win free stuff without doing any actual work. Attend every hour from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. to score a 4-pack of tickets to Knott's Berry Farm. Explore Ghost Town Alive and rock out at Knott's Summer Nights, a can't-miss after dark party. For extra credit, go to Knotts.com. Get a 2025 season pass and study thrill rides year-round. We call it field work. Our dean calls it please stop laughing and screaming in the parking lot. It's Knott's or it's not. This message approved by the Faculty of Fun at KROQ, courtesy of Knott's Berry Farm.
Prescriptions require an on.
98-inch TVs. This week, before it's all over, we will have given away 490 inches worth of TV for Father's Day. So the question for you right now is pretty simple, but you only have one reason to give us. Why is your dad the best dad in the world? Or why are you the best dad in the world? Giant TV up for grabs now at 800-520-1067 KROQ. Every year, I would imagine millions of dollars are spent giving away the world's greatest dad mug, but there can really only be one world's greatest dad.
You know, I made a world's greatest dad mug for my dad.
Made one? Excuse me, made one?
Yeah, it was like a class project or whatever. It was like, okay, in school, we're all going to have these like plastic mugs, and then you draw and design something that's like world's best dad and blah, blah, number one dad. So I made it. I was 4. I remember because the year is still on it. And then when he moved, he had it in the trash.
Oh,
and
my
I said,
God.
well, what's going on with this? And he was like, I don't know. Do you want it?
Are you serious?
I was like, yeah, I guess I'll take it. So I still have my number one dad mug that my dad rejected, and I decided to keep.
And you made this, so it was made when you were young too. So you would think of all the sentimental stuff. And it probably didn't work great as a mug, right?
No, it's actually been used as a pen holder its whole life.
Right, but he would rather throw it in the trash or give it to you than keep it.
Yeah, so I decided to keep it, which is even sadder.
We've decided that if you are truly the world's greatest dad, leading into Father's Day on Sunday, you probably want something more and deserve something more than just another mug. That really doesn't mean much, because if everyone's the world's greatest dad, then really no one's the world's greatest dad.
But if you put number one dad on this giant 98-inch screen TV, has way more weight than on a stupid cup.
Yeah, you don't even need... Just the fact that for the rest of your life, when people come to your house and they see that your TV takes up an entire wall...
You're like, that's because I'm the best dad.
They will know that you're the world's greatest dad. Yeah. So that is the question today. It's an opportunity for you to flex about your pops. Or if you are and think you are the world's greatest dad, usually that would be a statement that most guys would not claim. But if you feel that you've done something that makes you worthy of that, we'd love to give away another one of these TCL TVs. You can see some footage up on our Instagram of Johnny delivering the first one yesterday. And let us go ahead and say hi to Darren on KROQ. Good morning, Darren.
Good morning.
Why are you, or do you feel that you have the world's greatest dad?
Well, I'm the world's greatest dad myself.
Okay, that's quite a claim. Why so?
Well, okay, I'm not. I'm just saying. But I actually traveled the world to find my daughter. I had a runaway mama, and I traveled the world to find her. I actually had to sell a lot of stuff to come up with money. And one of the things was a 55-inch TV.
So your I don't know if it was your ex-wife or the baby's mama, ran away and took the kid with her.
Right. Had to hire private investigators. Finally ended up finding her in North Carolina.
Wow. So how many different places did you go before you found her?
Well, it was a lot of the private investigator traveling throughout L.A.
Let's give them the TV.
So you said I traveled the world. The private investigator.
But he had to sell a bunch of his stuff to pay.
I went to North Carolina and Virginia and a couple other states.
And what was her reason for being a runaway mama? Why did she feel that her and that kid had to take off?
Just mental issues, pretty much. Mm-hmm. My actually daughter's with me right now. She's sleeping. First day out of school. She's riding with me for work.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is interesting now. So she does like you, because I would feel terrible if we chose you and then we found out that they were escaping.
She's on the other line. My dad kidnapped me from my mom in North Carolina.
I was on a nice trip with my mom in North Carolina.
And my stupid dad, Darren.
All right, hold on. That's Darren. That's an interesting way to start. All right, this guy traveled all over the place. Imagine that.
He was tracking down his daughter to gain that responsibility. He wanted to be a father.
Yeah.
It's a lot the other way around, usually.
It was the reverse of what happened with Omar, to be honest. Almost the exact reverse. All right, let's say hi to Meryl on KROQ. Good morning, Meryl.
Morning.
Why do you feel that you have the best dad ever, worthy of much more than just a mug?
Well, my daughter has the best dad ever. My husband has been my daughter's dad since she's been 3. She's 15 now. She's going to be turning 16 soon. And he's pretty much been there for her every step of the way, getting up early in the morning, making her breakfast, taking her to school. You know, he also just found out that he's going to be losing his vision and slowly losing it, and still doing everything he can to be a great dad.
I don't want to sound selfish here, because it's a beautiful story, but why would we give a TV to a man who's losing his vision?
Well, he's not quite there yet, so he could still use it.
Okay.
And the bigger one helps.
Yeah, the bigger one would help, I guess. I mean, I guess if you lose your vision, you lose it on a 40-inch TV a lot faster.
Wouldn't
you lose
you
it
want his last days of sight to be spent watching a giant 98-inch TV?
Yeah, that's a good point. But still, I feel like it's a bit of a waste.
Now, you make a good point, Klein.
I'm not saying he's out of the running, but I don't want to sound like I don't care, because I do, but I would love to.
And it seems like she, got with this guy, and then, he ended up being a father to an already 3-year-old who had probably born with a different dad, and now to assume number one dad role when you are technically number 2 dad, that's admirable.
Yeah, of course, because you technically have no responsibility to this child. You are I have to take care of my kids. I made them with my own sperm. I have no choice.
Yeah, and when you start dating someone who has a kid, you could treat it any way you want. You could be like, all right, well, that's yours, so you can continue with that problem.
So it's a beautiful thing, Meryl. Thank you for sharing. All right, let's say hi to
someone else who's not blind.
Hugo. If anyone here doesn't have vision problems, I'd love to hear from you. No offense. Hugo, you're on KROQ. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Good. Why are you, or do you have the world's greatest dad?
I have the world's greatest dad because he's very forgiving for the stupid stuff I've done as a kid. When I was a kid in elementary school, I had really bad grades because I was really focused into playing video games. So he found out, And he, obviously he connected the dots. So he broke one of my favorite games, and it really shattered me. So in retaliation, I broke his flat screen TV, but I played it off as an accident. But weeks later, after he showed me why school was important and gave me the talk, he bought me a new game. So he's very forgiving. And I owe him a TV.
So this would be a beautiful full circle moment for you to then say, Dad, all these years later, I listened to you, and now, did you amount to anything, or are you still a loser?
No. I mean, I amounted to something.
And does he have a site?
Yeah, he has his site.
When you say I amounted to something, what is that something?
I think we know based on how he said it.
Well, no, I work for a municipality in the water department, so I amounted to something.
All right. So this guy broke his dad's TV out of retaliation, and his dad gave him the game back. He learned a valuable lesson, some good parenting. I think you don't have to be there all the time. I think a lot of times people think it's a game of quantity over quality. Like, I was around a lot, but sometimes you just got to pick your points. You can do one or two things over the course of 18 years. I feel like you've done your job.
A really good dad goes in, has an effective time where they teach you something, they teach you a really important lesson, they get in there, and then they're like, all right, now you're left to your own devices, and you give them the guidance to be a better person. Seems like that's what happened. And I think giving a TV would be perfect for this.
Hey, Maria, go ahead. We got one of these giant TVs every day this week. We're giving away 98 inches worth of TV. Courtesy of our friends at TCL. We'd love it to go to some deserving dads in time for Father's Day. We gave moms pillows, and we're giving dads TVs. It doesn't seem like it equates.
Oh, come on, we gave him a hotel stay.
That's true.
Too,
go ahead, Maria, what's up?
Hi, good morning, guys. How are you guys?
Good. What's up with your dad?
So my dad is a very hardworking man. He wakes up every day, 4 or 5 in the morning. He drives all the way to Long Beach from Moreno Valley every single day. He works in the sun. He works in construction. He works for the cement company. And, he shows up every single day, even in pain. He still goes to work. When he gets home, he sits down a few minutes, catches his breath, watches some TV. So I feel like he would deserve a brand new TV, in the living room for him to sit down and watch it and just relax and enjoy some time, with my mom, hanging out together.
What's he currently watching? What's he looking at now? What kind of TV?
Right now, he's been watching a lot of God TV series. A lot of
you said God TV series?
Yes, God. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
God. I'll tell you one thing. God looks better at 98 inches, right, Alli? We can all agree.
That's weird.
God.
You are so big.
Don't encourage Omar, please.
Well,
God, what have you done? That's a beautiful thing.
But we can relate to having to get up at 4 a.m. and drive to work every single morning.
Yeah, it sucks.
That sucks.
Nothing the TV can't fix. Dakota.
Hey.
What's up?
Not much. What's going on?
Why is your dad
How's
the
your
best? Good. Why is your dad the best?
I'm the best.
Oh, you're the best. Oh, excuse me. Self-nominee dad. This is very vain, but go ahead.
I'm the best because any chance I get to go watch TV, my kids are on the TV and they fight me for it. So I need a TV that I can watch something on.
Oh, man. Sometimes people say
I'm the best dad because I want my own TV.
He's not
what
wrong.
I just heard.
Good argument.
First argument I can relate with, Alli. All right, we'll continue. We'll pick a winner. Give this thing away next on KROQ Klein Alli Show. KROQ, we are Klein Alli show, and we're trying to give away this giant TV. And the question is pretty simple today, which is, why are you or do you have the best dad ever? Now, the legal reason here, I don't think we have to say you have to have a dad that's still living to get the TV. So potentially at some point you had a dad, he was great. You want to watch this TV in his honor, we'll accept those calls as well. But every day this week, TCL hooking us up with a giant TV. We thought it was the ultimate gift to give to dads. And if you truly are the best dad ever, a coffee mug just does not suffice anymore.
951 said, I have the best dad because he's moved me 20 times.
20 different times.
20 different moves. And your dad's like, I'll be there. I'll be there with the U-Haul truck. I'll help you move that same-ass couch.
That's incredible. My dad has helped me move a total of 0 times.
Really? Even when you moved all the way across the country?
Nope. 0 helps. 0 moves, 0 helps. 0 helps. But listen, he did. He's done other things. I can't think of them right now. He worked a lot. You know, it's important. Sometimes you got to do that.
I asked my dad to co-sign on a lease on an apartment with me, and he said no.
I asked my dad to take up a hobby because he had no hobbies ever. I remember growing up being like, this guy's got to get a hobby because that's the idea. Everyone's like, oh, man, I went fishing with my dad or I played golf with my dad. But he had 0 hobbies. So still to this day, it's so hard for me to find a Father's Day card because there's not one. Everything involves a hobby that he does not have.
Like the golf, the grilling.
There's 0 hobbies.
Even when it's like lay back with a beer, that's not even his hobby.
No. One time I think I got him a hammock just so he could have a hobby of laying in the hammock, and he couldn't put the thing together. He was like a pretty useless. So I think the hammock still sits in a box in the garage. But he looks at it and he says it's relaxing when he looks at the picture of the guy on it.
It is good to look at a picture of a hammock. It is relaxing in its own
we
way.
must give this away, this TV. Trust me, I wanted to win one yesterday for myself, but I didn't get it. This is just for Alli right now. I just want to get on a lesbian song for Alli.
Thanks.
That was the wrong song. That was not. Neither of those were supposed to play. The machine is shorting out. So let's get into it now. We say hi to Chris on KROQ. We have to pick a winner in this batch of Why Your Dad or You Deserve a TV. Go ahead, Chris Inglewood, quickly.
Yeah, my dad has bought 3 houses, 2 of them in Mexico, and all 3 are going into my name. And this is from an immigrant that worked his way here, got his papers, did everything, and busted his ass. He's almost 70, just finished working 2 full-time jobs, still working 1 full-time job, and he's been an amazing dad.
All right, it's a good work ethic right there.
I mean, the fact that he put the houses in your name, too, that's pretty sweet. And so he's building a legacy for his kids to continue.
Johnny, why is your dad the best dad ever, deserving of more than just a mug that says it?
He is the best dad because day in and day out, he has a younger brother that's 4 years younger than him that has Down syndrome. The Down syndrome brother is now 61 years old, Uncle Tommy. Every single day he gets up, he washes this man.
Aww.
He, if he goes to the bathroom, he has to clean him up. He shaves him. He has Uber and he has a car service and he takes him with him to every single trip. Man, I'd love to get picked up in an Uber with Uncle Tommy riding shotgun.
I bet that's so fun.
That would be so fun.
I will say, though, I still have to give my kid, who's 3, a bath, and giving a bath to another human being, it gets old quick.
Oh, yeah.
And to think you were doing it every single day, and this guy is now 61, you're still doing it?
Technically, he's doing it for his brother. I don't want to badmouth what he's doing. It's very nice, but that would qualify him to be the best brother ever.
Which is next week.
Which is not a TV up for grabs. That will be a tiny towel prize for sure. But thank you for it's still incredible story.
It is.
Chewy, we got to wrap this up. So we're waiting for the one that wows us all, and every dad here deserving clearly of more than just a mug. But who will get the giant TV? What's up, Chewy?
Good morning, guys. Sweet Dibs.
Sweet Dibs.
So my dad went through 15 years of dialysis, lost a toe, lost an eye, stayed bedridden. He wasn't able to walk because he lost all of the muscle in his legs and never complained one time about going through all that. And he showed me what I thought is how to be a man.
Do you think he could appreciate a 98-inch TV with one eye?
Well, unfortunately, he passed away a couple years ago.
Oh, man.
That's a bummer. All right, well, this has been a depressing segment, Alli. Sometimes it goes that way. But everyone to brag about their own dads for a moment.
This was supposed to be a feel-good.
It was supposed to be feel-good.
I don't feel good.
Let's end on a feel-good. Let's go to Jesus. Good morning, Jesus.
Hi, good morning. My dad is a mechanic, and he's there for me and the family 24/7. It doesn't matter where or when. He's there 100%, and he's never asked for anything in return. And I just want to surprise him if I get the opportunity.
All right. That's a beautiful message as well.
Getting free maintenance on your car?
Oh, man. God, I wish my dad was a mechanic.
just making you realize that your dad doesn't do
Hearing
anything.
all of these different dads, I go, he didn't do that. He don't have that.
My dad helped me with my electrical problem recently. He's the best.
Yeah, all right. Well, listen. For everyone who we couldn't get to, we apologize because these were all all of these stories tugged at our heartstrings for sure.
Dude, 909 said, I have the best dad. He saved my sister who was kidnapped and traveled out of the country to go get her.
Well, that's like
Liam Neeson?
Yeah, it's like Liam Neeson style.
I think this person's dad is Liam Neeson.
That's cool. Let's give Liam Neeson this TV.
He needs a TV.
For sure. Julio, we give
Liam Neeson, do you need a TV, Liam Neeson?
Good luck. I don't do Liam Neeson, but I need the other guy in the movie. Julio, this is truly the final one we have time for. Go ahead.
My dad, even though he was a true blue Bible thumping, God fearing guy, and once he found out that I was being bullied at school as a kid, he sat me down and said, "Son, I know I told you to turn the other cheek and all this other stuff, but I won't be mad if you handle your business and defend yourself." So the next day, got myself suspended by beating up my bullies, and he was never the more prouder.
So your dad said, "Listen, normally I'm a pacifist, but in this particular case, you must beat up your bully," and you did that. And even though you got in trouble, he said, "Hey, I'm proud of you, son."
Yeah,
it's a beautiful story right there.
Beautiful.
You got to occasionally beat up your bully. All right, Alli, we have one TV to give. Thousands of people went through. Thousands of people on the text line telling us the stories as to why their dad deserves more than just a mug. We've heard quite a few stories today. Which one stood out to you?
Well, the one that stood out to me was the guy who he was kind of a troublemaker, and he played video games, and then he
turned baby maker?
Yeah.
Troublemaker turned baby maker?
I think
That's
he turned
me.
baby maker.
I win this TV.
And I just think it's so catchy.
That's great.
So I think you should just get it.
So the guy who broke his dad's
TV.
His dad tried to teach him he's wasting his life playing video games. You'll never amount to anything. Now he's got a cushy job with the water municipality. I don't even know what they do.
A cushy job with water municipality.
Yeah.
That's where it's going.
That's the dream, baby.
That's where we're going. All right.
Water.
Well, we'll track you down. Congratulations. You broke your dad's TV during a tantrum. You're going to make it up to him now by giving him a much better TV. Thank you, TCL. Thank you to all the dads. If you didn't win, don't feel too bad. We have another TV to give you tomorrow as we continue to hook you up with 490 inches worth of TV leading up to Father's Day. Stick around. We got your news to get to after this, and then we'll start hooking you up with tickets to Knott's Berry Farm. It's a great consolation prize on KROQ.
106.7 KROQ. KROQ. Klein, Alli, Show.
Get ready to die.
Oh, good, a cartoon. I hope you're high.
Kevin Klein live.
Kevin Klein live. Hello.
I was trying to find out if today is the day for the $105.
You want the $105 cash?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
All right. What's your favorite morning show?
105.
105 what?
Where they have the jazz and the soft music and the mellow music. And
Yeah, you're listening to 105 Jams.
Yes.
You called 105 Jams, the station that's giving you $105 to make you hollers.
I got the $105.
This your boy, DJ Sam the Jam. All jams, no marmalades. You got the $105.
Yes.
Give it up. What station giving you jams and cash?
Top 105.
105 what?
Jam.
Jams 105. And lucky you, it's Double Trouble Thursday. We're going to double your $105.
Wow.
We're going to double that to $210.
Okay. I'll take the double.
Oh, you know what? We're going to triple it. What do you think of that? $315.
Wow, I like that even better.
What station is tripling your jams and your cash?
Hot 105 Jams.
Hot 105 Jams. Uh-oh, you gone and activated the cash quadrupler. It's Quadruple Cash Thursday. $420.
Yes.
Whoops. This is embarrassing, and Sam the Jam never makes a mistake. It is not Quadruple Cash Day.
Okay.
In fact, I should also point out I don't believe it's a triple day either.
It's all right.
Nor is it a double day or even a regular $105 day. In fact, this isn't even Hot 105. It's Live 105, and we don't have any money for you, and more embarrassingly, we don't even have any jams.
Okay.
So what's your favorite radio station? back. We are Klein Alli Show. We'll get into your news, and then a brand new hour of the show can officially begin. The first thing we do is get you some tickets to Knott's Berry Farm, a 4-pack of tickets this summer. No place like it. Soak up the California fun and sun at Knott's Berry Farm. Tickets at knotts.com, but you'll win 4 of them from us, 2 pairs, in about 5 minutes, and then again every hour straight up through 6 p.m. Tonight, if you are going to the Hollywood Bowl for the Mumford & Sons show, I know we gave away a lot of tickets for that show. You're going to have fantastic weather. It's like one of the best. Right around sundown is like when right now in L.A., things are at their absolute best. Oh, yeah. There's a pre-party that is taking place, a KROQ pre-party happening at the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood. So that's open to anyone who's got a ticket to the show. I think it's actually open to the general public. If you just want to go and hang out, you can hang out with KROQ. That'll be happening before the show, I think starting around 5 o'clock at the Hard Rock in Hollywood. So go and hang out there. There'll be some KROQ people out, I'm sure, and then people will make their way over to the bowl together. All right, let's get into your news right now, and then the hour of the show can begin.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
With all the high-profile celebrity trials taking place, it's hard to remember that Harvey Weinstein is still out there and he's still in court. And I didn't even know that this was taking place, but he has just been found guilty again. Harvey Weinstein was found guilty 5 years ago of sexual assault, but then it got overturned on some kind of technicality, so this is the retrial. He was found guilty again, and Harvey Weinstein said this isn't fair. This is what he's saying still about all of these trials. He said, my life is on the line, and you know what? It's not fair. It's time to say this trial is over. And I guess he was talking specifically about, there was like some controversy with the jury, and I guess the jury was not getting along, and one of the jury members was like bullying the other ones and like criticizing their opinions and was like, if you don't like it, let's go out to the street. And the jurors kept coming forward to the judge and being like, I don't feel safe in there. There's some weirdness going on. Like, I'm sure Harvey Weinstein is guilty and he needs to just be in prison, but it's like a weird anomaly with these jurors that they're all like at each other's throats and fighting each other.
Well, if you remember when Me Too was going on, and he was one of the first like poster childs of the Me Too movement, because all of these people that had said for years, everyone in Hollywood knew that this guy was, despicable and was constantly, making actresses feel uncomfortable and
these were very graphic and explicit instances.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's have a meeting about this.
He was a troublemaker.
Yeah, she was a professional troublemaker. He absolutely was. He would say, "Come to my hotel room," and then he'd show up in the bathrobe with his dong hanging out, and he was making all these actresses feel uncomfortable. And he was the first guy to, in many ways, he'd been doing it for years in this town, and it got to a point where I think, remember, there people were making jokes about it because it was such a well-known thing.
It was a pretty open secret in Hollywood, and then it was kind of this whole, this culture has been here for a long time, and he's been doing this for years, and there are so many people around him who are complicit. Now I think there are a lot more people that are held accountable for these kinds of things, but it's like, whoa, it's weird that Harvey Weinstein is like a throwback.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh, that guy. And then the chalk drawings, he has just really gone downhill in the last few.
In fact,
really
I would say most people look worse when they get chalk drawings of themselves in courtroom. I feel like for him, it's probably an improvement over photos. Yeah.
What a year for chalk drawers.
They're crushing it. What an industry. Who knew?
My God. All right. I talked last hour about this plane crash that happened in India. It was an Air India flight, 242 passengers. It took off. The video has been released, too, of this happening, and it's pretty tragic to watch. You just see it take off, and then you see it immediately go down. And it goes down into the dorm of a medical building, and then you see some of the pictures of the tail of the plane just hanging out of the building. And they suspected that everybody on the plane died, but it seems, at least from what we're seeing now, that one passenger appears to miraculously have survived this plane crash.
Come on.
And he's a British passenger. His name is Vishwash Kumar Ramesh, and he was in seat 11A, and he was found limping around in the street.
Wow.
While they're, going through all this carnage and everything. And he's
one survivor? That's got to be a crazy
it's like Unbreakable.
Head trip.
Dude,
right
I know.
There.
And he said, when I got up, there were bodies all around me, and I was scared, so I stood up and ran, and there were pieces of the plane all around me. 40-year-old guy. He's in the hospital now.
Man, 11. That's
He
a
said
good
someone
row.
just grabbed a hold of me and put me in an ambulance and brought me to the hospital. Yeah, 11A.
Dude, and he seems reasonably unscathed. Oh my god!
Yeah, like he's got some
Just
scrapes on his face, but like
that's about it. Yeah,
up and walking around. What did he do?
This is the premise to Unbreakable.
It really is. We should see what else this guy's capable
He's
of
limping
surviving.
a little bit, but that's about it. Wow.
You already want to
That's
test
crazy.
him on other things.
I want to test him on other things too. Yeah, I mean, give him a day to recover, but that's really
Break his arm to see if it
unbelievable.
hurts. I know,
Wow.
it really is. So, but maybe this is all happening now. So maybe there's more survivors. We don't know.
Let's hope.
Yeah, and then Jack White and Jack Black. It's easy to mix them up. At least it is for our producer Vanessa.
Vanessa
So-
got very confused the week we were
Likely
giving away the Jack White tickets. I didn't even know what we were giving away by the end of the week because it seemed to change by the day. I would look at the schedule: Jack White, Jack Black. It was every other day. It was switching.
So Jack White posted on his Instagram that he is receiving Jack Black's mail. So I guess even other people out there are getting confused and sending love letters to the wrong person. Not necessarily a love letter, but a big fan letter. So this person wrote to Jack Black, and this, Jack White put this all on his Instagram. This person is a big fan and an avid autograph collector, but I guess they're going to get the wrong autograph.
Oh, man.
Wait. Jack White opened Jack Black's mail?
Federal offense.
I guess that is a federal offense.
Yeah.
Dear
Oh my
Mr.
God,
Black,
dude.
Dear Mr. Black, I hope you're doing well. I'm a big fan and an avid autograph collector. Your roles in School of Rock, Nacho Libre, Jumanji, and most importantly, how you dominated playing Sexaboom.
Oh, yeah.
Saxaboom are all reasons that I look up to you. Adding your autograph to my collection would be incredible.
So did Jack White sign it and send it back, or is he going to try to get this to Jack Black?
I think he's
Or do you
trying.
sign it, Jack Black?
Well, he said that he explained that the letter was sent to Third Man Records, so it was sent to his record label, and it's owned by Jack White and Ben Blackwell.
Oh my
So
God!
it's
The
even
block
more
markets.
confusing.
Jesus
And he's
Christ.
like, I'm guessing, this is just a crossed wires here, but I'm debating what I should do. Anyone have any ideas?
Well, listen, I would love to invite. I'm sure that Jack White has received Jack Black's mail before, and vice versa. And if they'd like to all meet up here at KROQ and exchange mail, I think we can agree that no charges need to be filed against each other for the opening of each other's mail, which is a federal offense. But yeah, we'd love to be the happy. We still got that. We got that letter. Remember that Jessica Biel letter that was sent to us?
Oh, how could I forget?
We still have that. We're still waiting for Jessica Biel to claim her mail. It
Never
still
got it.
Sits in the KROQ office. It's Klein Alli Show. We kick off a brand new hour of the show next with tickets for you.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Sun's out, dumb's out for another hour here on KROQ. We are Klein, Alli show, and we kick off this hour by giving you something that you actually want. More of us. No. Tickets to Knott's Berry Farm. Yay! That's right. There's no place like California fun and sun. Knott's Berry Farm. Tickets at Knotts.com, but we'll give you 4 of them right now if you're caller 20 at 800-520-1067. We got them for you every hour, starting now, and then we'll do them again at 10 since we're still here for the summer hours, and that will continue on all day long. And listen, we haven't spent a lot of time this morning talking about what's been transpiring in the streets of Los Angeles and now spilled into other cities as well. And we've posted some video this week on Instagram that should let you know exactly how we feel, and maybe we cannot say it enough that we feel for the many immigrants that made this city, that are still the DNA of this city, and it's a terrible time to feel that when you leave your house that you are a target. And even people that were born here and are citizens of America legally feel very judged right now and feel very scared. And when we get messages like this, we don't play them all on the air, but I think it's important to share some of them with you to let you know that we do understand, at least as best we can. I mean, Allie's a very white-looking lady. I get confused for a lot of different things.
I'm white inside and outside. I'm actually translucent.
Yeah.
So
He's
white.
a ghost.
Allie says white power all the time.
No, I don't.
And we don't stand by that statement, but we do stand by messages like this.
Hi, Allie. Love you guys. Sweet. But I just wanted to say, Klein, you are a man among men when you put people in their place and you let them know where you stand on things and what's right and what's really, really right. And I'm out driving. I'm a Lyft driver, and I'm going right home. I'm going home right now because of what's happening. Because I forgot my ID, and I, unfortunately, am put into a position where I have to be afraid, as an American citizen, potentially being put in an unnecessary situation where I can be detained and blah 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 just because I forgot my ID, my real ID, by the way. Anywho, thank you guys for what you do. You make me smile, you make me laugh, you make me cry, laugh, which is awesome. Thanks again.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that.
Oh, thanks for that at the very end there.
And
it's a terrible way to go about your life.
Everyone who's going through it now, understand that we are hopefully bringing a little bit of levity to an otherwise very difficult situation that, love to believe every day it's going to get better, but it doesn't seem like that's the case.
No, I mean, they promise more. But I think what upsets me is, people who are going through the immigration process and they're just having their regular immigration appointments, like routine appointments, they're being detained. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. They are actually going through the legal channels. Like, I just read a story this morning on KTLA where it's like this guy, his wife and daughter were going to their regular immigration appointment, and then all of a sudden they stopped being able to get hold of him through text, and now they've been sent to Texas. And it's like, dude, you want people to go through the proper channels, and then they do, and then they're also punished for it.
Corey, let's go ahead and try to change the vibes around here by sending you to Knott's Berry Farm. Congratulations, you're caller 20.
Oh my gosh, yay! Thank you so much.
You're
oh my
very
gosh,
welcome.
I'm so excited.
Hold on one second.
fun.
You'll have another chance to win those tickets in about an hour. For the rest of you, we have a world premiere right now. Look at that. What a way to get into a brand new hour of the show.
More Sally?
21 Pilots are back
nice.
with brand new music, and it is very exciting when we get to hit this button and world premiere something on KROQ. So get ready, gather around. You've never heard this before, and let us know what you think. It's time for a KROQ world premiere.
KROQ World Premiere exclusive.
Hey, what's up? My name is Tyler. Hey, what's up? It's Josh from 21 Pilots. I'm taking my time on my ride. And this is the world premiere of our new song called The Contract, the world famous KROQ.
That is a world premiere song on KROQ this morning from 21 Pilots. It's called The Contract. Been a while since they've dropped new music because I think one of them was busy making babies. Troublemaker / baby maker. That's what happened.
The theme of the day.
Seems to be a theme today, and I know that it would be very strange for us to do back-to-back world premieres, but that is exactly what we have in store for you right now. World premiere number 2 is a tribute world premiere. Take a listen.
A bushy blonde hairdo, surfing USA. You catch him surfing at Delmar, inside, outside, Ventura County line, inside, outside, USA. Santa Cruz and Tresless, inside, outside, Australia's Narrabeen, all over my hand. I need my background, and down to anyway. Everybody's gone surfing USA.
That is
I think it's the at the end for
world
me.
premieres. That's a tribute from Vanessa to Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys.
She had like dueling microphones with herself.
She really
there.
did. Incredible stuff right there.
Take that, 21 Pilots.
Yeah, so I don't know. The ball's back in your court, Tyler and Joseph. You've heard what we have. Question, and then we will get into some El Cheapo on a Thrifty Thursday and give you the opportunity to brag about some of the many cheap things your father has done. Because, let's be honest, no one's better at being cheap than dads.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they always have a great workaround for anything other than spending money. And they are, I know women are like, oh, they always want a sale. Men, especially dads, they can find great deals, too.
So we
especially
will,
on big TVs.
We'll get to that, and we'll take your calls at 800-520-1067. That'll be coming up in moments. I wanted to ask you about this concept now, and if you think that this means that I am now out of touch, or if this is a new trend, that I am another trendsetter. Usually after the fact, you guys make fun of me in the moment, I bring something up, and then weeks later, months later, you go, you know what? Klein, you may have been onto something.
Is this food related?
No, it's not.
Oh.
This is about the concept of now I have figured out and found out that when I have plans, no matter what they are or who they're with, I get more of a joy when those plans get canceled than when...
Why? Because then you have to do the reschedule, which is the worst.
Nah, usually they just don't get rescheduled. Like if I'm supposed to
Wait,
go...
what kind of plans? Like a concert, a movie, a dinner?
It's like someone will reach out and say, hey, let's get together, sometime this summer. Like for instance, I was supposed to go to a dinner tonight with some friends that I haven't seen in a bit, and it got pushed to the summer because things will get a little easier, quiet down over the summer. And I was thinking that'll be fun to get together, but then as it got to the day, I was going, I really feel like I just kind of want to go home and sit on the couch. I don't feel like getting dressed and putting on pants and going out in the public. And then one of them said, hey, guys, I have to leave town for a work thing. Can we reschedule again? And someone else said, you guys still want to do it with the other three? And someone else, the second person goes, no, I'm good rescheduling. And then I go, oh, great. I just got nothing to do. And I realized that the last few times plans have been canceled, whatever they are, I get more of a feeling of relief. Like more of an excitement about them being canceled. I think some people get bummed out. They're like, oh, I was so excited about that.
Yeah.
When things get canceled, I get thrilled about it.
I think that this is a sign that you are a loser. But I also think that you're not alone. And it is a trend because more and more people are staying home. People are going, okay, you know what? The coordinating, the money that's being spent, all of the to and froms, and when are you going to get home, the coverage for if you have kids and all that stuff, it is stressful. Right.
Yeah,
so then if you think, all I have to do is sit on my couch and scratch my balls for the next 3 hours, what a great evening.
Pull that clip, but also pull the clip. And I will say that what Alli is saying is exactly what's going on inside of my head. And not that I don't like going out sometimes. And usually when
you like going out at 5:30. You're Mr. 5:30.
No, but even then I don't really like going out. If given the choice of staying home or going out, I would almost pick staying home.
You're always out doing things.
I'm not, though.
You're going to pizza places all day, every day.
Yeah, right.
And then you go out in your green little coat doing those interviews?
Yeah.
Not funny?
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you're doing your little casino coat.
I'm not doing I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, and then like all weekend you were just at a barbecue fest or something.
Yeah. Okay, it wasn't a barbecue fest. It was one guy's barbecue. But I go out occasionally. But the idea of everything that you just mentioned, for the most part, that's impulsive decisions. Those are like in the moment. I don't plan that stuff.
Oh, okay.
So you don't like things to be planned.
When things are planned and then it finally gets to like, hey, today's the day we're supposed to do this, or this is the, we said we were going to go out to dinner with this couple, and then we get a text day of that goes, hey, I hate to do this, but so-and-so's not feeling well. I think most humans would get disappointed. I get a feeling of like relief, of like, oh, that's great.
So you think that's better? That feeling is better than the feeling of the actual plans.
Yeah. Does anyone else feel that way, or am I
my
alone?
wife's tap class got canceled the other day, and I was so happy.
Well, you were happy because you didn't have to hear her tapping around like a weirdo.
Yes, and I actually had help around the house.
Yeah. So that's good.
But if you think about things at work, like we have a big long meeting after the show today, what if we just cancel?
Oh, that'd be
We
so
should.
great.
Let's cancel it, guys. Let's just cancel it.
Let's do it.
Hey, by the way, you know that feeling you get, we have those weekly meetings we have around here, and whenever we do get a calendar update that's like, by the way, meeting's been canceled.
Like, can we just say, like, summer hours, let's not?
Have the meeting.
Yes.
How great does that feel? But think of that feeling right now. Canceled meeting. How great is that feeling?
And you can't
But it's
go
very
back.
different meeting versus hanging with the boys and having dinner, man.
Versus just scratching the balls.
Yeah, but Alli brings up a good point, guys. The scratching the balls argument, right?
It seems pretty great. My kid loves it.
When we get back in a moment, we will hear from you. There's a lot of people on the phone that would like to share why they believe that their dad is the greatest when it comes to being cheap. But you will be going toe-to-toe with the kingpin of cheap herself, El Chipo. When we get back from this quick break, chance for you to flex your dad's cheapness after this.
Welcome back to KROQ Summer Session. Today's lesson, how to win free stuff without doing any actual work. Attend every hour from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. to score a 4-pack of tickets to Knott's Berry Farm. Explore Ghost Town Alive and rock out at Knott's Summer Nights, a can't-miss after dark party. For extra credit, go to Knotts.com. Get a 2025 season pass and study thrill rides year-round. We call it field work. Our dean calls it please stop laughing and screaming in the parking lot. It's Knott's or it's not. This message approved by the Faculty of Fun at KROQ, courtesy of Knott's Berry Farm.
KROQ, we are Klein Alli show. Although currently we are dressed as eagles to celebrate the greatest story to happen in Southern California in some time, the birth of the babies of Jackie and Shadow.
Yeah, and I was able to get a really great deal on some highly inflatable eagle costumes just because I don't want Jackie and Shadow to get all the glory. When you think about it, anybody on a live stream can be a bald eagle and get attention, don't you agree?
I don't understand what we're attempting to prove here by dressing up. I think this was one giant... you and Vanessa got inside of each other's heads, and you started hyping each other up and saying, oh, it'll be great if we do the show dressed like eagles.
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, but...
I like it too.
Visually, I
like it too because I'm not doing it.
Right, of course.
That's the best part.
I tried so desperately this morning to shift this onto someone else. I was like, oh, it'll be just as funny if Jake comes in here dressed like an eagle.
No, he can't fit in this costume.
But we're going to attempt to, I guess, feed each other now.
Well, yeah, because like I said, the big story yesterday was that they did their first feeding, and obviously it's fascinating. I mean, Omar, you've been gripped by this, right?
Oh, yeah,
You're one
I
of
love it
the
to death.
80,000 people that have been watching Jackie and Shadow and seeing how their eaglets' lives are starting out. So why can't we get in on some of that attention?
I guess we realized that, God damn, I hate this thing.
This is so loud.
What I realized is that people are obsessed with watching cams of eagles, and since our YouTube, live YouTube is kind of new, what could we do to maybe steal some eyeballs away from the much more popular eagle cam? And we decided rather than just be a better version of a radio show, which is impossible, we tried, let's just maybe dress like eagles, and maybe we get some confused, really slow adults that actually check out this stream and think that they're looking at the Jackie and Shadow
Well,
cam.
some of the immediate comments on the YouTube live stream are that Klein's nose still somehow looks better than the costume's eagle nose.
Thank you. I'll take that as a win for me.
So do you want to share some of this beef stick as a nice breakfast?
So I guess what we were going to attempt to do right now is recreate eagles feeding each other, because that is the thing that everyone's gone nuts about. If you haven't seen it yet, you're not yet watching the live Big Bear cam. But everyone thinks it's the greatest thing ever. In fact, I can't even play this audio because I can't even see my...
I think I can get
it. Could you have bought louder costumes, Alli? Or were there louder ones available?
Look, there was another one that was really, really good, but it was like $200. And these ones were $37.
Well, you got everything you paid for here.
Okay, hold on a second.
If you are wondering why it sounds different in here, it's because we are currently encased in eagle suits. And in a moment, we are going to attempt going to attempt to feed each other, and I believe the meal this morning is a beef stick of some variety.
Johnny, while you're here, can you please open up the beef stick because I can't open it myself with my wings?
Allie, I think we should let Allie try to open it up because this was her idea from the very beginning. Let's let her.
Well, and I also have a lot of respect for these eagles because it is hard to do things without hands.
Yeah, do it with your mouth.
Put the mask on the right way.
Well, I can't bite on it.
Yeah, Allie's all ass backwards with her whole costume.
Okay.
And
her face is coming out of the neck.
Yeah, it's a terrible.
Enough about my neck!
The costume cannot accommodate Allie's giant long neck. If you are wondering what this monstrosity looks like, you can head over to YouTube.
Johnny, open that up for Allie. What are you doing?
No, I want Allie to try to open.
Oh my God!
It's a much funnier segment. Allie tries to open things in an eagle suit because the reality of this is that it wasn't really that well thought out. I think they just got so excited about the eagle costumes that we just assumed the rest would figure itself out.
Oh my God, I think I got it.
And it clearly has not. So,
yes!
All right. So for anyone who's enjoying watching eagles do things, which apparently happens once a year around birthing season, maybe, just maybe, you'll enjoy this. Allie's going to
I'm going to go over there.
Stick it up, and she's going to attempt to feed each other, baby bird style, mouth to mouth. This is a live feeding, which apparently is all the rage these days on the cams. So take this, real eagles. Hold on. Allie and I are going to attempt.
Klein's stuck.
I'm trapped. Hold on.
Oh my God. This looks like some sort of weird porn.
I got the stick in my mouth, guys. We just did a very successful and unsuccessful live feeding. Allie, beef tastes like cigarettes. Were you smoking again? You know what's funny about this dumb bit is that Allie thought this had enough legs to do once every hour. She goes, we'll start every hour with a live feeding. And I said, I think if we do this once on the air, it'll be more than enough.
Look, I also said we should wear these the entire show.
Right, that was another big mistake. So
but I didn't know how cumbersome they were going to be. I didn't realize we wouldn't have access to our hands at all.
When we get back from this break, you will never hear of this ever again. So enjoy this memory while you can. The show continues next. And speaking of feeding, if you're the parent of a Girl Scout, father or mother, and you would like to prove that you are the best seller of the cookies, since we all know the responsibility falls on you, it's a chance for you to call us now. We'll let you try to outsell each other, and we will spend hundreds of dollars to buy boxes of cookies that we definitely don't need, but Jake will probably eat them all. That's next. let's celebrate some of your dad's cheapness with some El Cheapo. You will be battling your father against the kingpin of cheap herself.
It's time to talk to the kingpin of cheap. Here she is, El Cheapo.
And today's El Cheapo is brought to you by American Tire Depot, and they have the cheapest prices anywhere, especially when it comes to tires. And my dad has taught me many ways to save on all kinds of car-related issues that I've had, and he fully endorsed my recent decision with my car to get it fixed rather than buying a new one.
You know, 818 wanted to let us know that their dad would cut their pants into shorts for the summer, but then keep the legs and reattach them when weather got cooler, which is a real cheapo move. I'm sure he couldn't do the sewing back on. That's where Mom had to step up, I'm sure. But regardless, that does sound like something only a cheap, thrifty dad would do.
I think dads are really cheap when it comes to clothing and furniture. My dad, I don't think I've ever seen him get rid of a piece of furniture. He even has furniture from when my grandmother was still alive. And at one point, when I was younger, we bought some kind of a QRB furniture repolish thing on like an infomercial and tried to refurnish, like to repurpose all of the furniture that he had, because he was like, I don't ever want to buy new furniture. If it works fine, yeah, it needs some better finish on it, but why would I go buy something new?
714, my dad was tired of turning off lights in the house, started removing light bulbs, and would only put them in when we were in the room. So that's a real next level thing when you're taking out light bulbs and putting them in. And 310 said rather than run the AC, my dad would give us each an ice cube and told us to rest it on the back of our neck. It would cool us off faster than actually putting on the air conditioner.
Here's another one for you. My grandfather, who was very cheap as well, would time our showers. So when I lived with my grandfather, he would give us 2-minute time limit on our shower. And if we spent more than 2 minutes, you would see a hand reach in.
Really?
And turn the water off.
Oh, man.
Because it was a waste of water.
Alli comes from a long line of cheap, but we are celebrating Dad, so let's go ahead and say hi to Brian on KROQ. Good morning, Brian.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What is it that your dad does or did?
Well, he taught me how to extend the warranty on my car battery.
And how would that happen?
Well, most of these car batteries come with like a 3 or 5 year warranty, and right before the warranty's up, he showed me how to short it out, and the battery would look bad, like it failed prematurely, and he'd take it to the shop and get a new battery with another 5-year warranty.
Whoa, that is genius.
Wow. You have impressed El Cheapo, and that is not easy to do.
Set the alarm, short it out, time to buy a new one.
Warranty's almost expired. And you would have a little trick. You'd short out the battery, bring them the shorter one. They'd start fresh. The clock would start all over again. And
every 5 years, you get a brand new battery.
It's a beautiful, it's a great legendary move right there. That's a real dad move.
I mean, real batteries, they last a pretty long time.
Son,
right?
I'm going to teach you how to go ahead and scam the warranty operation here on the battery. Let's say hi to Steve. Good morning, Steve. Welcome to KROQ from Pomona. What's up?
Morning. So, actually, it's not my dad. It's actually me. When cheese is about to go bad, it's getting a little moldy, cut the edges of the mold, put it in the freezer. When any jams are going bad, I remove the mold off of it as well. Wife dislikes this, but when you're buying organic stuff, it ain't cheap. So I gotta be cheap as well.
So you will wait for mold to start, and most people at that point would say, well, this is trash, but not you. That's when it's time for you to do a little clipping and freezing, right?
Yeah, but I mean, when it gets to that point when it's not being eaten, I look and I check and I see that there is mold, so trim, freeze it.
All right.
And you know what? That's also on the rest of the family members. I've bought this cheese. And you probably wanted organic cheese. I'm getting the thing that you want, and it's your fault for not eating it in a timely fashion. So I'm trying to save it by putting it in the freezer. I think it's genius.
Jennifer, why do you believe your dad is worthy of some love from El Cheapo on this Thrifty Thursday leading into Father's Day?
Well, my dad immigrated here in the 70s, and he still wears the same outfit. So he will hand repair his shoes, his pants, and shirts. I have pictures of, like, my college graduation, my kids' graduation, him in the same outfit.
It's interesting when it looks like you've just photoshopped your dad into all these different pictures because he's wearing the almost exact same outfit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when you find an outfit that works for you, and it's usually one of those like short sleeve collared navy shirts, you just stick with that outfit. And I'll give my dad credit because he's been wearing the same pair of New Balance sneakers the entire time I've known him.
Oh, I saw him wearing those in Vegas.
Yeah, it's all he has. And finally, I think those became cool again. Like in the last year or so, like all of a sudden, my wife had a pair of them, and she's like, very in on what's in style. And I'm like, I think you're wearing my dad's shoes. And she's like, no, these are cool now. I'm like, are you serious?
Wow.
And I called my dad and I told him. He's like, I knew eventually.
Yeah, when
Like-
you start getting complimented by like random 20-year-olds
like
on the
those
street.
big, chunky, white New Balance sneakers that were like such dad shoes all of a sudden became
And he
like...
does it because he has like low arches.
Yeah, he just did it for arch support. That is why he had them. But I mean, that was like his pair of shoes. And when those would finally, when he'd wear them out all the way to the point where like laces were worn through, he would
buy the
just
same pair.
replace them with the exact same pair.
Yeah, my father-in-law does that. He's got those Reeboks, and he buys a new pair every few years, and he's just sworn by them for years. But I think this is great. If you're wearing the same thing and you've decided that that's your uniform, Steve Jobs style, and you can do like a whole time lapse of like my dad since the 70s.
Daniel, you're on KROQ. We're celebrating cheap dads leading into Father's Day with the great El Chipo. What's up?
We did.
Sweet Dibs. What's happening?
So check it out. After Dodgers win, you get Panda Express for $60 the next day.
Yes.
And I got all my kids downloaded the app and signed up for Panda, and that's the only time we get Panda. Everybody order your own Panda. We're going to go pick it up for $6.
Everybody order your own Panda.
Just waiting for the Dodgers to win so we can get our Panda on all the apps.
Is it every win now?
I think it's I don't. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
After every home win.
Every home win.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
a lot of Panda Express.
Yeah, I know. The Dodgers are pretty good. So that's why they said this year it's a good year to be a Dodgers fan because of all the freebies you're getting.
And a
the
bad year to
discounts.
own Panda Express,
Yeah.
apparently.
We give Josh. Josh, go ahead. You're on with the great El Chipo. What's up?
Yeah, hey guys. So my dad used to have his own business, and it wouldn't be uncommon for him to go like buy a new tool and then put the old tool back in the box and take it back like to Home Depot and be like, hey, I got a bad tool.
Yeah, I've heard of people doing that.
Heard of? You've done that. When you've heard of people doing
I haven't
that?
put the old thing back in the box.
You brought a dead plant to Home Depot and demanded a refund because
Yes,
it was guaranteed.
Because they give a lifetime warranty, and obviously I didn't put my lavender in the right place.
So Alli killed a plant, and most people would say, well, time to throw this in the backyard. And Alli decided, I'm going to go back to Home Depot and bring back the plant. And that is what...
Technically, it was its lifetime.
Yeah, you did. The plant did live its lifetime. It just was a much shorter one.
No,
because
my lifetime.
That's not blood.
Even if now, 3 years later, the one lavender plant that I had that survived died, I would still bring it back.
That's so sad. I mean, it really is so sad that you're saying that, but I get it.
Don't you see people at Costco bringing back stuff that's years old?
And everyone judges them. That's why they put that...
I don't care if I'm being judged. I'm in a line. And you know what? I think the stigma behind cheap people and people who are just looking to get a little money back in this world, that is going away because the economy is tough, inflation is tougher, and if you can save $1 or even $500 on something that you bought and then a few years later you don't want anymore, you want to bring it back to Costco, you go for it.
This is why Costco puts that big sad line of shame right in front so everyone has to look at their faces. If they really
Those
wanted...
are my friends. I go, what's up? And they go,
Alli high fives all those people in that line. Hey, what are you returning that chair? From
I go sign autographs along the line.
It's Allie's the one who eats the crackers she's returning while she's in that line. And if they really cared about it, they would put that line in the whole back of it would be a whole different area in the back. But they want them right up front so that you can all look as you go in and go shame, shame on all of you. The final word will go to, and everyone claims their dad does different cheap things. But, Greg, we let you have the last word here. Go ahead.
All right. Yes. Hey, good morning, Sweet David.
Good morning.
I come from a long line of patriarchy, apparently, of men that do not want to buy new furniture. In fact, I have the kitchen table that my great-grandfather made. He was born in 1908, and wow. I just finally got it from my dad last month.
Every meal,
and I bet it works great.
Every meal from every generation of your family has been eaten at that table. It's probably the same table your grandfather was born on, too.
Probably.
Incredible.
Yeah, but that's they'll say, and they're right, that things that were made back then were made to last forever. And there's no reason why you need to get rid of it. Even if all the legs are wobbly, it's still working, right?
Yeah, it totally works, and he even made it so it's one of the extendable ones where you can put in 2 leaves, so it can be a 4-person table, 6-person, or 8-person.
Love
And he
the
built
added
all the
leaves.
chairs.
Generations of Cheap, celebrating your dads on this very special El Cheapo on KROQ. Good morning. Making progress on their summer bucket list. We started this thing. It's something Omar does with his kids every year so that summer's not just one giant waste of time where they try to accomplish certain things. Maybe they take up a new hobby or they read a book or something, and he put together a summer bucket list for us. And here we are. I don't think summer officially begins until, June 20-something. But as far as I'm concerned, when school is out, last day of school, summer has begun. And people have their different starting times for when summer is.
And summer, get it together. Start earlier because we've already started.
Also, the June gloom stuff, enough with it. Let's move on now. Let's go ahead and bring out the sun. Sun's out, thumbs out, like we say around here. We had 8 items, I believe, on this list. Go on a road trip at least 6 hours. Read a book. No listening. Listening doesn't count. Do something you've never done before. Go skinny dipping somewhere. Visit a landmark. A DIY home improvement project of your choice. You have to be drunk before noon at least one time. Community service to help the community, and sex in public. That is our list. And here we are now, about a week, maybe 2 weeks since we put this list together. I'm just curious, is anyone further ahead than I am with a total of, I only have 1, and I haven't even done the 1 yet. I just started 1.
I'm looking at this, and I think I've checked 3 off already.
You've checked 3 off already?
Well, I'm going on a road trip tomorrow. I'm going to the Bay Area, so that's at least 6 hours.
No, you could do that in 5.
Yeah, 5.5.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't count.
What do you mean it doesn't count?
Wait,
6 hours.
you don't have? Do you have stops planned, or you're just going to go one straight shot?
If I have stops planned, does it count?
No. When you tell us your plan first,
and we'll tell you me if it counts, and I'll tell you if I have stops.
You tell you your plan first, and we'll tell you why it doesn't count.
We're stopping at In-N-Out
Doesn't
in
count.
Kettleman City.
No.
The Kettleman City stop. What a scam.
That's a great
that is.
In-N-Out.
Oh, yeah. What, do you need to buy more fudge?
Yeah, and then there's that fake old Western town right next to it, and that's a fun time. I would even count that as a landmark. Boom, check that off the list, too.
I thought Omar said there has to be multiple stops. One stop does not count as road trip.
Yeah, it's gotta be multiple
stops.
I'm sure there's going to be multiple stops.
Yeah, but
at various bathrooms.
Allie, stopping to take a dump at an Arby's does not count as a road trip, okay?
Shut up. I would never take a dump at an Arby's.
Well, you should. They got great bathrooms there. Very underrated.
I think I've also done something I've never done before because I adopted kittens, and I've never done that.
Did that before he even gave us the list.
So I have to do something new now?
Yeah, everything had to start fresh.
Remember, I made out with a lesbian. It doesn't count.
Okay, fine. I held 2 kittens at once. I've never done that in the same hand.
Yeah, you have done that.
Probably.
You've done nothing. So you're just where I am. We're at zero. You're at zero.
And a DIY home improvement project. I reorganized my garage the other day.
That's not a home improvement project at all.
Yeah, I had to get on a ladder.
That's just.
And you know what I did? I also installed one of those remote control things where you put in a code and your garage door opens. Boom.
You did that yourself.
Yeah. I bought it and I put it and I drilled it into the wall and then I connected it with the little. And then I connected it with the learn light and the blinky blink. That part's hard.
That's nothing. It's not hard.
No, you have to.
It's literally you hold down a button and it learns it for you.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to tap once or multiple times depending on the motor.
All right, so you've.
I had to tap 3 learn buttons.
Just to confirm, you're also at 0 right now. I bought a book. And that was so rare that it asked me 3 different times before I checked out. Did I mean to make that purchase? That's how rare I am.
You get those fraud alerts.
Yeah, I bought a book. I mean, I've never been warned more before I bought this book that I almost second guessed buying a book.
What book did you buy?
I'm not sure I'm going to say what it is just yet. I don't want to give it.
What do you mean?
Oh, I want to start reading it first, but it's exactly 251 pages.
So you only did. How did you find a book that's the exact amount of pages?
I searched for best book that was 251 pages because Omar said it had to be at least 250 pages. I found a few different ones to pick from.
You're embarrassed of what the book is, aren't you? Is it Harry Potter?
No, it's not a story. It's a book that's going to teach me things about the world.
Oh, you love self-help books.
It's not self-help. It is about how to basically. I thought Omar would approve it.
Or is it a memoir from like a washed-up comedian? You like those too?
No, I do not. It's a book about how to get rich, how to take whatever you have and turn it into more. I thought Omar would approve of the book because it's all about being financially responsible.
That's fine. Yeah,
that sounds dense and like you're going to give up.
Well, I will say that I started reading the first few pages of it, and
it's like,
lost.
open a checking account. You're like, forget it.
Yeah, the first step is I'm not going to do, which it basically said, like, think about all of the dumb purchases you make every month and start eliminating them. And I was like, but that's all I make is dumb purchases.
And you're the matcha man.
Yeah, I'm the matcha man.
Yeah, you get matcha for your wife every day. You can't eliminate.
Yeah, that's my move right there. So I don't know if I'll do what the book says, but I will read the book.
Okay, so I'm almost going on a road trip, and you've almost read a book. Is that where we're at?
I haven't almost read a book. I bought a book, though, which is the first step. Omar, can you change this one to instead of read a book, buy a book?
Nope.
Because we can keep buying books.
Jake, did you do anything on this list yet?
Nope.
You've done nothing.
Well, we need some incentive. And you know what? Our friend Uncle Scott is creating incentive.
Yeah,
he says he's got a package that he's putting
When we
together.
go on break, I'm definitely getting drunk before noon.
Why wait until we're on break? Oh, Vanessa was drunk before noon at Pride Parade, right, Vanessa?
Yep, so I have 1 point.
All right,
Nice.
Vanessa has
Good
1
job,
point.
Vanessa.
And we've got proof that Vanessa was very drunk before noon, and we could.
What's the second one?
That's all you need right there. That was at 11:40 a.m.
She's also done something she's never done before by insulting a gay man.
Oh, that's right. She was.
It was a hate crime.
Gay.
Right, so that's 2 things. You're going to crush this list. So that's good. Anyone go skinny dipping yet or think about it?
I could have that done.
You could have it done or you did it, Johnny?
I could have it done by this weekend.
Where are you going?
It was either that or have sex outside, but does sex outside in a backyard count?
Yeah, that's outside.
Of course.
Is that public?
Yeah.
That's public, a backyard?
I think public, isn't that like an offense? Like, can I get arrested for that if I get caught?
Yeah.
All right, I'm in.
That's why it's on the bucket list.
So you're going to do the sex and naked ones?
Yeah.
All right, cross those off. So here we are. If you're keeping track right now, we have a total team score of like 1, and thanks to Vanessa getting drunk.
No. I've done a couple of home improvement projects, and I also started reading a book. So I just got to finish that book, but I'm already about 100 pages in.
What is your dumb book about?
The autobiography of Grandmaster Flash.
Oh man, I should have thought of that. How many pages was that one?
It's actually exactly 250.
No way.
Yep.
Klein, you got to return that rich book.
I got to return my book. I got to return my book. All right, well, there you have it. If you'd like to take part in our summer bucket list, we posted it up on Klein Alli Show. A lot of people asking us where they can find a copy of it. It's up on the Instagram. Check it out there. If you'd like to participate as well, we're going to try to come up with a prize for you. So if you accomplish these before we do, you'll get something as well. At least that's the goal around here. Quick break, back in a moment with your news, and then we will give you what you really want, which is 4 more tickets to Knott's Berry Farm. All coming up this morning, K-Rock.
Klein, World Alli Famous Show.
K-Rock. Klein, Alli Show. Mornings on K-Rock.
back. We are Klein Alli Show on a Thursday morning. If you need us, phones, text line open, 800-520-1067. Right now, though, let's see what's going on in the news.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
I'd love to bring you only good news, but I do have a couple of updates. Things have been eventful, to say the least, in Southern California this week, and it's kind of seeming like every night is like the purge. Like, you wake up and you're like, what the hell happened now? And there was there was more protests, obviously. There was another skirmish line. There was a high-speed pursuit that went over 100 miles an hour through downtown L.A. and through the freeways of L.A.
Well, that would have happened regardless.
Exactly.
We do those year-round.
But I think at one point they were, like, driving through where the protesters were. So anyway, there is still the curfew in downtown L.A. And then people decided, you know what? If I can't go to downtown L.A., why don't I just protest somewhere else where there's not a bunch of military and LAPD. So they went to a hotel in Whittier where they believe ICE agents are supposedly staying. And if you want to know, I guess they put the ICE agents up at the Hilton Doubletree.
Is that the one where you get the cookie when you check in?
That's where you get the little warm cookie.
Oh, man.
That's so funny. I used to DJ raves down there at that one.
At that same hotel?
Yeah. They have like a big ballroom, and then one summer they just decided to host a bunch of raves down there.
We host raves and ICE agents.
Wow.
Are they still giving the cookie? Or did
I don't
they get
think
rid
so
of that?
because I Doubletree it occasionally because, Hilton's too highfalutin for me.
Right, got it.
And I don't think I was offered cookies the last time I went.
Huh.
And I think I even asked about it because I told my kid, I was like, this place is great because they have cookies when you get there. And then then the cookies weren't there and he was pissed. And then I had to get like alternate cookies somewhere else.
We don't have cookies, but we do have ICE agents.
I know. I'll be leaving.
It's a bit of a downgrade.
Yeah, eventually the cops came and then created a skirmish line, which is when they do that little like Red Rover line across the street.
It is kind of like a giant adult game of Red Rover.
Yeah, and they're like, well, don't you go anywhere now. They like link arms.
They step in sync. I almost feel like they're about to do one of those
Pump the flash mob.
Rockettes moves where they start doing kickstands.
Yeah, and eventually
someone should just go down there and start blasting da 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 da. See if they start dancing in unison.
They go da 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 da.
As much as this situation is terrible and not fun to watch and not fun to experience, and a ton of calls from listeners that explain why they are being impacted this week, but we'll get into some of those later. But it would be hilarious if for some reason they just started doing a synchronized can-can. I think we could all get behind that. So
we all know we can find a little bit of laughter.
Way to lighten the mood.
It kind of lets the air out. All right, there's a significant change coming to Costco, and I know usually it's so clickbaity when there's like, ooh, Costco's making a change, and it's usually like they change an ingredient in their mustard, and it's like not significant.
Pretty big deal when they brought Coke in over Pepsi.
Yeah, and this one I think is significant. This one will separate the boys from the men in the Costco world, in my opinion. If you are an executive member,
you're talking to me.
You now have 30 minutes to shop before the riffraff come in.
Oh, beautiful.
So executive members who pay that $130 a year and they get that sweet 2% cash back, they'll soon be able to shop for 30 minutes to an hour earlier than the general public. So from 9 to 10 a.m. on weekdays and on Sundays, and then Saturday you get from 9 to 9:30. So you get this, it's like old Black Friday stuff where it's like you get this time before anybody else gets there to shop.
A couple problems with the Costco. One is you won't have any of your samples out at that time, which the real problem with the riffraff comes
I feel like those hour windows are like closing though.
Well,
every time I go now, I'm like, where are the samples at?
Yeah, there's a nice, when I go after the radio show, usually in the afternoon, I hit up the one and
is that your you time?
They got it. So lately, they've been crushing it with the samples, but that is unfortunately when the riffraff does worse. There is the hoarding of the sample, the standing around, the waiting, the pacing,
and standing around and crowding that area when you've got giant shopping carts.
I thought the riffraff were gone, by the way, because they started IDing everybody.
Yeah, Omar, I thought that was going to make a change, too, because they force you to show your IDs.
Dude, I wasn't able to go because I tried to use my wife's card, and they're like, nope, hit the bricks. They told me to hit the bricks.
Wow.
Sometimes I've showed up without my membership, too, and what I do is I pretend that I'm having a conversation with someone that is scanning their card on the way in. So, like, if some guy that I've never met before is scanning their card, I'm like...
But then at checkout, you can't buy anything, so you're just doing it for the hang?
Then when I get to the checkout, I make friends with the guy behind me in the checkout.
But you have a card and a membership. What are you doing?
You're right, but I'm very forgetful. So I am a paying member. And Johnny was with me one time when I found out my card had expired. And it was such a...
That's an embarrassment.
It was embarrassing because I wasn't in the position to pay the additional $200 out of the gate.
They're going to start creating skirmish lines to avoid people like you.
I get it. And they're not wrong.
Costco linking arms. All right.
Throwing chicken bakes back and forth.
I've been very supportive of ChatGPT lately, and it seems I'm not alone. The ChatGPT is being readily embraced by billions of people at this point, but this could be an important turning point. When the robots turn on us, ChatGPT has accused a man of murder, a murder that he did not commit. And you know many of us will blindly accept anything AI has to say. I am guilty of this. And who's to say the police wouldn't accept it too and throw you in jail? This is wild.
A Norwegian man has filed a complaint against an AI platform after it falsely accused him of killing his children. Arve Holman used ChatGPT to search details on himself, asking who is Arve Holman.
Have you ever done this where you ask about yourself and see what ChatGPT knows about you?
No, because I'm not that vain. I've never Googled myself. I've never ChatGPT'd myself. Ever.
But you have for the show.
No, I haven't for the show at all.
He's put in like prompts or whatever for funny pictures or something. Stuff like that.
I'll put
or
in
scripts.
Right,
I guess.
I'll put in show pictures and I'll be like, make these guys look more presentable.
Turn this monkey into an AI porn model.
I put in a picture of my wife one time and said, can you give her bigger boobs?
Oh, that's right.
And it said, we don't
you
do
see,
that.
that's good stuff, man.
That's what I'm using it for.
Yeah.
According to the program, Holman gained attention due to a tragic event when his 2 young sons were found dead in a pond near their home. It went on to say he was convicted of murder and attempted murder and sentenced to 21 years in prison. None of that is true. His sons are alive and these crimes simply did not happen.
So what's going on now? They're like, yeah, this guy is well known for killing his kids and now he's in prison and none of this ever happened. And then
believe him.
You start thinking about like Minority Report where it's like, oh, you know, this crime hasn't been committed yet, but maybe this ChatGPT knows something that we don't.
Well, listen, the whole thing is going to have, we're at that fun part where, the future seems sweet, but we're still in the buffering mode right now.
Yeah, now we're like, oh, cool, like my ChatGPT is helping me be my personal secretary, and then all of a sudden it's like, you've been arrested.
Wait,
I just searched the Kevin Klein on ChatGPT.
Thank you.
And,
we don't need this.
It says on social media he goes by @TheKevinKlein, describing himself as a professional troublemaker turned baby maker.
I never. That's wrong. That's false.
ChatGPT has turned on you.
Oh no! I never describe myself as a professional troublemaker turned baby maker.
That's what it says, man.
Well, that's wrong.
That's hilarious.
I'd rather it accuse me of killing my family. I never did that at all. Alli delivers a lot of sad news, so we wanted to deliver one story to put you in a good mood. This is the one story we could find in the entire world that does not involve what is happening in Southern California right now. Take a listen.
Is that a dog at the top of that very tall tree? It sure is.
There you go.
And now it's dead.
There you go. There's a feel-good story to end on your ADD News. Klein Alli Show, KROQ.
Klein Alli Show.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Nicole, don't go anywhere. Come in here. I like seeing you. Look at that.
Jet
Nicole.
lag.
Wow, Nicole Alvarez was all excited.
No.
She forgot about summer hours.
Just how much time do I have?
She ran in
oh
here.
My God.
Let's have her take over.
What?
Nicole, would you like to take over things now?
I'm so confused right now.
I know.
I know.
Yeah,
We
so
are
are
too.
we.
Trust me,
Do you,
we are too.
Do you miss me?
Yes.
Of course.
Why?
Does anybody even care that
We-
I'm missing for an
Well,
hour?
You want me to read some of these complaints? Get out of
No.
there. Bring in Nicole
No, but
Alvarez.
I
You guys
do-
suck. Where's
can
Nicole?
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I am very happy that I get to sleep in, but I'm happy that people get more exposure to the wonders that are the Klein Alli Show.
Well, I wouldn't say wonders. 818 would strongly disagree.
Why? What did they say?
I love the show, but I hate these new hours. Please bring back the old one.
But
Yeah.
why? Why do they? I don't understand. It's just people don't like change.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And neither do we.
Did you
do
see me
we.
just run in here like a bat out of hell, like I'm late?
I thought something happened. I was like, oh my God, Nicole is
Another
gonna...
Beach Boy died.
Yeah, we lost another Beach Boy 2 days in a row.
I went to work out and then I was like, I'm going to be late. I have 12 minutes. And then I made it here. Good God, I'm leaving.
All right,
But
there she
that's a
goes.
nice feeling when you think you're going to be late and then you're early.
What are
not
you
really.
going to do with yourself for the next hour now, huh?
No,
Is it-
I'm all confused, and I needed to be on my A game today, and now I'm on my F game.
Hey, you got an hour to get caught up. We'll be sticking around for some summer hours. The very first thing we
leaving.
do is give you 4 tickets to Knott's Berry Farm. There's Nicole Alvarez. What a treat. Nicole Alvarez rushed in here.
She can have my egg room for
We
a half
should-
an
you
hour.
know,
Get right.
I blame myself. I should have just gotten up. I'm such an idiot. She came in all ready to go on the air, and I, like an idiot, I was like, I think we have another hour.
Like, yoop-a-doop.
I thought summer hours got canceled. I was all excited, and then I should have just been like, yep, you're right, Nicole. Bye-bye.
You think by Thursday they're like, no, forget it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull the plug on this thing. All right, caller 20. Let's give you some tickets now. If you want them, just be on the phone. Let's make it happen for you. We got 4 of them for you, Knott's Berry Farm. Another bonus hour with us. You're stuck with that. Yay! And then you get Nicole Alvarez. We give you 4 tickets after this one from Empire of the Sun on KROQ.
Penis vagina. Penis vagina. Penis poop pee trailer. Hoopa. Hoopa.
KROQ, we are Klein Alley Show. bonus hour, summer hour, which is new to everyone, including Nicole Alvarez, who showed up an hour early for her show, but she'll be on after us. Fear not, she's got more of these tickets to give you. So let's go ahead and make someone's day instantly better right now. Nico, Long Beach, good morning.
Sweet Divots, good morning.
You are caller 20, so you got 4 tickets to Knott's Berry Farm to enjoy some summer. Welcome. You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Hey, thank you for spending some additional time with us. Bonus hour. Some of you, maybe first time hearing the show. New voices. I'm Klein. That's Alli. You got Jake the Nerd over there. DJ Omar Khan.
Hey.
A staple here at the World Famous KROQ. And then in the back, Vanessa and Postmaster Johnny. And all morning we've been listening to some of these just amazing tributes that have been pouring through for Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys.
There's a place called Kokomo. That's where you wanna go to get away from it all.
That's where you want to go to get away from that song. So anyway, a beautiful tribute right there, and we've been listening to some of those tributes all morning long. Alli, it's time for us to see what's happening in neighborhoods all over Southern California. Not just in your own backyard, but in our backyard as well. And yes, this is a week that it's very sad to see what the national people think of our state, and specifically in Los Angeles, because they're seeing some of L.A. at its worst is what it looks like. But we like to spotlight some of L.A. at its best. It's time for us to meet the neighbors.
Meet the neighbors. That's what you gotta do. Say hello, shake a hand, share a smile, and make a friend. Meet the neighbors. Their dog just crapped in your yard.
Beautiful song written by Alli's real-life neighbor, Ray. And we all have things happening in our neighborhoods. We all live in different parts of Southern California. So let's go ahead and share with you what is going on.
Have you gotten your first firework post?
Firework or gunshot post?
Mm-hmm. What's going on with all the fireworks and booms randomly going off at night?
Well, some of those could be
really worrying.
Some of those could be protest related, not 4th of July related. Today, we may have to add, Omar, I know that you do get the great theme song you put together last year for gunshot or firework, but we may have to add in gunshot, firework, or protest. We may have to add a third option. It's a fantastic game that we'll start playing. We should probably get into that game, I would say, as soon as tomorrow, because maybe the first round of gunshot or firework.
Oh, yeah.
Or protest.
Yeah, we have to add that. Because I do remember, I don't know if you have the intro by you. It's a lot of people claim it's their favorite intro you've ever done. But as Alli is pointing out, the posts have definitely started. And I would love to remind ourselves as to what that intro sounds like. The traditional one, when it was just everyone's favorite game of last year, which was just gunshot or firework. Now we have a third option.
A much sadder option. But I think this game just got not fun.
Makes the game more difficult, to say the very least.
I found it.
Oh, you found it? Okay, hold on. This is a great staple. A lot of patriotic songs this time of year, but perhaps nothing as patriotic as this.
When you live in LA, you hear nightly. Not that. That's just Alli. Here at KROQ, talking about the sound that happens on your block. Firework or shots.
Great song.
Everybody!
I guess we did have a third option. The third option was Alli making weird noises. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
So now the game gets
there
even
are
more
complaints
difficult.
about that in my neighborhood.
Understandably.
No, I actually have a post from somebody who lives in my neighborhood named Karen.
Oh, boy.
And Karen W. is upset about something that she's been seeing in her neighborhood that she didn't see before. I've started to see a lot of groups walking around in Agora Hills wearing strange blue church gowns. I want to know the reason for this, perhaps a cult in town. To which everyone replied, Karen, it's just graduation.
Oh, man. Really? Complaining about caps and gowns? That's so funny.
Yeah.
Why would they tell the truth? They should have said, yeah, it's a crazy cult, and they're probably going to eat your kittens.
I don't know, but there were a lot of crying emoji, laughing face replies, and then she was getting really upset at people who were responding with that because she's like, what is funny about this?
Yeah, well, it's very...
Our community is being invaded.
It's all these people wearing these weird caps and gowns.
With this cult.
Must be some sort of a cult.
Yeah,
Well,
not a cult, Karen.
College debt is a cult, I guess, eventually.
Well,
You're
yes,
in for a
that's
long
true.
time. Jake, anything happen in your neighborhood?
Yeah, this is from Jacqueline. She says, I'm selling Mexico tickets for this Saturday's game at the Gold Cup. Message me if interested for pricing. And then Anna wrote, isn't this canceled due to ice? And she wrote back, that's why I'm selling them.
Okay, all right. That's some good neighborly
That's why
advice.
I'm selling them.
This is a
I don't think it can't be canceled.
Definitely not canceled. No way. But I can understand why that people would be concerned. Once again, just another thing that people have to think about now when they leave their house, which is terrible to take a fun thing like that people are probably looking forward to so much and going, I don't even know if I should even go.
I know, it's terrible.
This is a crazy question. Someone living in Magnolia Park West who says, I've recently gotten myself a puppy, and I was curious if I need to or if I can neuter this dog at home, or must I bring it into a professional? Now, the first question was, I hope you're kidding. Obviously, this is a medical procedure that a professional needs to do, followed by a link to a YouTube that shows you how you could do that at home.
Oh, cool. I have to neuter my cats. Is it informative?
Who would, even if you could do that at home, why would you?
Because all you got to do is snip.
Oh, my God. You don't have the ability. You have painkillers at home for animals to
I'm sure I can buy them on the black market.
Oh, my, Alli, you got to be kidding. Even someone as cheap as you got to be kidding. I thought
And my little kitten balls, they're so small. I feel like you can just just do a pinch. Just a little pinch and rip them
someone,
up.
third comment down says, you should be reported for this. Meanwhile, fourth comment down says, you can do it at home. I did it successfully.
Whoa.
So I didn't realize there's a whole world where people are spaying and neutering their...
If you do that, do it to yourself first.
Yeah, don't test it out on the animal. I mean, that's terrible.
Well, hold on a minute.
No, hold on a minute. No, hold on a minute. No, Alli.
Don't people do brisses at home?
I think that's another thing where you want to have a professional. If you're going to do a...
Because that's also just a snip. When it's just a snip, it's like ear piercing.
I don't think it's like that. Ear piercing, when you're with your friends, you're like, oh, we'll just hold the safety pin under the lighter and then we'll pierce an ear and get an ice cube out.
Yeah, and
that's very
puppy
different.
just really needs an ice cube.
No, it's not. I don't think it's the same. You stop trying to normalize this. This is crazy. There's 88 comments on this, and most of those comments are like, you're crazy.
I know, but then there's
a step-by-step online. I just found it. It's crazy.
Is it simple?
It doesn't look very hard. I think you can do it.
Yeah.
It just says snip. It's not the
Step
same.
one, snip.
I don't
Step two, save money.
Yeah, if you have real audio for it.
But that's not the case for the cat. So the penis actually sits directly below that scrotum. And if I were to try to do my incision outside of the scrotum, I could accidentally cut into the urethra, which would cause significant damage to the urinary tract.
Okay.
What is that beeping noise?
This is a video taken at an actual veterinarian.
That's a professional.
All the animals are crashing out because she's making TikTok videos.
Oh, my God. Alan, hi. Good morning. Sorry about that. What's up?
Good morning. I heard Vanessa singing her beautiful song.
Oh, which one was that?
I have no idea, dude.
There's a place called Kokomo.
I have no idea, dude.
We did say later this morning, if you heard us replay her singing Kokomo, also known as Kokomo, you could call in and claim your tiny towel. Is that why you're calling?
Yes, sir.
All right, hold on. We're sending you a very limited edition Vanessa tiny towel. Courtesy of... that's okay.
Go watch that movie Kokomo. It's good.
Go watch it.
It'll get you tiny towel ready.
Baby, why don't we go Jamaica? Of the Florida Keys, there's a place called Kokomo.
Oh, boy.
That's where you wanna go to get away from it all.
R.I.P. Brian Wilson.
Welcome back to KROQ Summer Session. Today's lesson, how to win free stuff without doing any actual work. Attend every hour from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. to score a 4-pack of tickets to Knott's Berry Farm. Explore Ghost Town Alive and rock out at Knott's Summer Nights, a can't-miss after dark party. For extra credit, go to Knotts.com. Get a 2025 season pass and study thrill rides year-round. We call it field work. Our dean calls it please stop laughing and screaming in the parking lot. It's Knott's or it's not. This message approved by the Faculty of Fun at KROQ, courtesy of Knott's Berry Farm.
KROQ, we are Klein Alli Show. And if you think about UCLA, it's a fine institution, unless, of course, you're a fan of USC, in which case you hate UCLA. Regardless, very difficult to get into. Most people, I think, get rejected. I think you have to have pretty good grades, pretty good test scores, and that's just to be a student there. So imagine the teachers there would be held to an even higher standard.
Absolutely.
We were all equally shocked and surprised when Postmaster Johnny told us that he was
Well,
on
he
a-
like casually was like, I have to go speak at UCLA later. And we were like, what?
I was convinced he was trying to spell something that was not UCLA, the college. Like, I thought he was going somewhere else completely, and he was trying to spell it. And then I thought maybe he's talking about something near UCLA, because I know he likes to go to the bars by there, because he says they got the good, the better baddies are by the UCLA bars.
I thought he was going to meet a girl at UCLA and talk to her, and that's what he meant by speak at UCLA.
Right, but Johnny, correct me if I'm wrong, you were brought in front of an entire class of people?
Sir, yes, sir.
And you claim, we asked you a little bit about this on the bonus podcast yesterday, that you were speaking to a room full of marine biologists?
One of them was a marine biologist. The other ones were all comms majors.
Comms majors?
Communications. I know
Right.
it's been a minute since you guys have been in college, but comms
Right.
is communications.
Right, and you went there for what reason?
I thought I was just going to be arm candy, kind of, but then I ended up talking for a whole hour
Arm
in front of the
candy?
whole class.
You think the teachers and guest speakers bring arm candy?
They would have brought me just be like, hey, this is another kid that's like somewhat of a college age. Like, he's probably going to come along for that.
Right. All right. Why don't
Holy
I'm going to play some of the audio. Johnny, I may need Johnny to come in the studio to defend himself for this, because this audio is crazy. And at some point, apparently, he badmouthed it. Johnny, you understand? I haven't heard this audio yet completely. I know Omar heard some of it and Alli did, but you kind of badmouth us to the room full of students. You
Go
know
ahead,
that.
play it. Let's hear it.
Well, you said it.
I know, but I don't remember what I said. But go ahead.
Did you prepare your speech at all?
No, not at all. I thought about it while we ate dinner beforehand, but that was it.
This is Johnny speaking to a class full of 100 students at UCLA.
So, just as Jennifer said, attention span is really, really, really short, especially nowadays. We grew up on, a lot of us grew up in the genesis of social media. And I had to kind of teach my coworkers the importance of that.
You had to teach us the
Yeah, I had to
importance
tell you
of
guys.
social media?
Yeah, I had to tell you guys, remember, like, everybody's attention span is super, super short.
Yeah, you have to teach us about the genesis
Yeah,
of social media.
No, I grew up in the genesis of social media. You guys kind of were there.
I grew up
already.
in the genesis of Sega Genesis.
Oh, yeah.
That's the genesis.
Genesis does. Immediately, the first video, first 3 seconds, I say, don't say my name, don't say what show I'm on, it has nothing to do with radio. Holding up a box of cereal and the thing about sneaking cereal into the theaters.
Oh my God!
I felt like a superhero when I said that too.
Johnny, you're talking about your dumb bit you
Sneaking
do.
cereal into
Look,
the theaters.
I did it.
rest my case.
So wait, you're talking to a room full of kids that obviously know. You know, they don't need you to explain, because they're looking at you like you're some old out-of-touch loser too.
Well, no, they're actually kids older than me in that class, but that was like
You're also saying you're all just spitting out things that are common knowledge nowadays.
Right. Show no attention span anymore. We get it. No one has an attention span.
That goes without saying, but also too.
Right.
That,
But
that was
you
what-
did say.
Did you pick that up at UCLA yesterday?
That was like one of the big talking points that Jennifer wanted to bring up when she brought me. She wanted to bring up me riding the first time on the airplane, me sneaking chicken in my pants, and then just my experience.
Listen to Johnny. He speaks about his idea of sneaking chicken in his pants.
Play it.
He speaks about
Like he's about to win a Nobel Prize.
Yeah, like I did. Right. Imagine a teacher that actually like helped come up with some medical device that cured something.
Yes.
Johnny is speaking about his bringing food in his pants in the movie theater. Like it. Listen to this. I mean,
Sneaking cereal into the theaters. What if we did chicken? Me and Klein are big Costco guys, okay? I was like, let me go get a rotisserie chicken. Go, first video, literally. Sneaking rotisserie chicken into the theaters.
already messed up the name there. You called it. You had it rotisserie, and then you changed it back to rotisserie, you idiot.
That's how I said it in the video.
I know. So he goes.
I said it in the
Then we're spitballing. We go, cereal. What can we do next? Rotisserie chicken. We like Costco.
Literally the next day, 130 views. I wake up to 130,000 views. Boom. Okay. It looks like he does it a lot. Oh, they're actually a radio show.
So now he's talking about bringing it back to the show.
Right. So you're saying that you had a genius hit you, bring chicken in your pants into a movie theater. You explained to the kids.
And now it's helping us.
And is anyone watching you as you're doing these?
Dude, they are feverishly taking down notes.
They're
They are
taking notes.
writing. Yes.
They are?
Yes. Notepads.
Holy
like,
crap.
How to transfer from UCLA.
Yes.
They're all filling out applications for other colleges. USC, transfer portal.
Any other school.
Marco on KROQ. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Hey, no, that was completely genius of UCLA bringing in Postmaster Johnny. You know how, like, when you have little kids, my theory is when you have little kids that they're misbehaving, so you take them to, like, the county jail and tell them, hey, if you keep misbehaving,
they're going to scared straight him.
Yeah, scared straight.
They basically brought Johnny in.
Genius of UCLA.
Yeah, they're very smart, right? They said, bring in
You
this.
drop out, this could be you.
As soon as Johnny left, they're like, so that's what happens when you don't go to UCLA. That's a smart school
That's
right there.
great.
All right, here's the speech continues.
What's radio? Who's Klein and Alli? It was the stepping stones that took its way to get there.
Beautifully said. It was the stepping stones that took its way to get there.
Oh, that's because I talked about
the stepping stones that took its way to get there.
Yep, that's a Johnnyism right there.
We had to start out sneaking pie. Then we had to do churro videos.
We had
No, we didn't have to.
Yeah, we did.
We had
You guys wanted it.
I love that this was all a strategic plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
So hold on. The plan was.
I like how Johnny's kind of like putting us in a position where we're forcing him to do all this stuff.
Right. These were all the things you wanted to do. In fact, we told you
Yeah.
not to do all these things.
That's why I mentioned that in the
Yes.
speech
We
too.
had to start out sneaking pie.
We had to.
Yep, we had to.
We had to start small with pie.
We had short pie. We had
Then we had to do churro videos.
to do them.
Which we asked you to do consistently, and you did like 2 and then stopped.
Yeah.
Did you tell them that in class?
No, because I told him I was setting it up to talk about fellatio salad and how
right.
that was the
That's the
end
big
game.
cliche. Yeah, that's-
Yeah, and these were all steps to get to
We
that.
started with pie. We ended at fellatio salad.
Yep.
Meeting adjourned.
Wow,
You're
what are we
all-
doing here, guys? Seriously.
No, he's got a lot to say.
Yeah.
My job is just to get the eyes, give her an alley-oop so that her and her sales associates could close down and just slam dunk that.
Let's talk side hustles for a moment. I think those are pretty normal now. I think when I first met Omar, I was always impressed. I never understood how that guy could keep it together because he had the job at KROQ, he had the wedding DJ business, DJOmarCon.com.
He's also a landlord.
Landlord,
Yeah, property
and
manager,
then
yep.
he would also do these other little side hustles. And then I learned that his outlook on life is anytime you come up with an expense, whatever it is, lease a car or
Try to make up for it.
you got to make up for it with a new job. That's the way he always looked at it. So the guy at any given time could be working 19 jobs.
Yeah, and also you will have to pay attention to what the current thing is. Like some people are like reselling, and I have
Right.
to find the hot new thing and I have to resell it. And when there's a side hustle that pops up, that's like a seasonal thing or a trendy thing, you got to hop on the trend.
And I see these people now. I go to Costco. The guy next to me is buying all of one item because he's planning on reselling them. And apparently there's whatever it is way more expensive on Amazon than it is at Costco. So the guy then gets one of those, flatbeds and he loads it up. And I just assume that's a guy doing a side hustle right now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's his full-time job. The reality is that there are some certain side hustles, which I don't find out about until after the fact. And I say, I wish I had known about it. We've got a few to share with you right now. There's the one that apparently has been going around for a while now. I think there's even an app for it, but people are renting out their swimming pools to strangers. If they got a swimming pool and it's officially summer, they're saying you can come by and use my pool for an hour or a 2-hour block or potentially rent it for the entire day.
Which I'm like, man, if you already have the luxury of having a swimming pool, then you have swimming pool money. But then you also can make even more money renting out your swimming pool to people who don't have swimming pools.
And having a pool seems like a luxury, but it is a real money suck if you have to constantly keep it cleaned.
And get that crawly thing. The crawly thing's always got to go.
Got to add water to it all the time because the water dissolves away, and that's probably the biggest expense, I think, is the fact that it's constantly...
You have to keep adding water?
Oh, yeah. Constantly.
Yeah, it evaporates.
It goes away.
Especially during the summer.
It goes away so quickly, and then you have to
Run
leave...
a hose in it.
Yeah, but Alli, you got to leave the hose running in sometimes 3-4 hours. It doesn't even make a dent. I don't know where the water goes. It hardly makes a dent in the level.
Oh, it sounds like your pool has a problem, Klein. I don't think it's that much water.
It's a lot of effing water.
You might have
dude.
a leak somewhere.
Is the hose on?
Nope, I didn't turn it on. But I did drag it all the way to the pool.
But some people are making now $2,000 a month during the summer. And
That's
about
crazy.
$1,000 a month in the off season to rent out their pool for 1 to 2 hour stretches. And
But there's a lot of questions there, right? Like you've got to let a group of strangers come and use your pool. It's very intimate letting someone else use your pool.
the most intimate thing about a stranger using your pool is what they're going to do when they have to poop. Because someone going around in a wet bathing suit and having to traipse through your house and then poop in your bathroom and then go back outside.
I don't think you give them access to the bathroom. I think some people
If they
have
no bathroom, then they're going to pee in your pool.
If it's a fancy pool, some of these places have like outdoor guest bathrooms,
Well, it's just called a bush.
That's an
Oh, yeah.
outdoor
Well,
guest bathroom to me.
That's another
That's
option.
It's my kid's favorite bathroom.
But I will say that, like, if you are, you start going, I couldn't possibly think about doing that, and then you realize, hold on, someone's making an additional $2,000 a month, renting it out a little bit here, a little bit there, and if you're smart enough and you can figure out a way to rent it out when you're not around, and you trust that people aren't going to break in, ruin your house, or take a crap in your yard, then maybe it's worth it.
Or maybe they're going in the backyard and going, "Whoa, this is a nice place," and I see that big screen TV inside.
Right.
I think next time I'm going to come and steal that.
That's the risk you always run, right? With anyone who you give access to, because people obviously, you can Airbnb an extra room in your place. That's been a side hustle for a while now. People just going, "Hey, I got an extra room I'm not using." You sleep in it, a couple $100 a month.
I will say though, I live across the street from our community pool, like in our little area, and when it's summertime, there is so much screaming, so much splashy screams, and it's annoying.
Yeah.
So to have that right in your backyard, and
Constantly.
it's people that you don't know, are you going to have some kind of a noise requirement, or any kind of thing around that, or they can play chicken and scream
Well,
all
I
they
guess
want?
you decide who you rent it to, because I'm sure some people want to do it for maybe just a family wants to use a pool for the day, so they rent your pool, or maybe it's like you wouldn't probably want to rent it.
Only hot women tanning.
Yeah, if there's any groups of hot women that are tanning, our pool is available to rent. Wherever you damn
But
well
no
please.
children.
But if there's like some kid who wants to have like their 5th birthday party pool themed, you're like, not happening in
No
my backyard.
way.
So I think that you would have some control over who you would let rent the pool. But it is an interesting side hustle. Then there's this one now that I guess Starbucks is doing. This one pays crazy. It's a 6-figure salary.
$136,000 to travel for a year and post about Starbucks coffee. They're accepting applications now. They want 2 full-time year-long positions, and you're just basically going to visit like a bunch of different Starbucks locations internationally and try them out and post about them. So you're like a travel coffee expert for Starbucks.
Which, by the way, great gig, get to travel, which is nice, get to see the world, but it's also, you then become one of those people that's like, you went to all these countries and you were constantly in a Starbucks.
I know.
Which is...
I was in Fiji and then I went to Starbucks.
Right. Yeah, which is, I get it. Like, people give me a hard time because, like, when I go to other countries that have Costco's, I like to go to the Costco's there. People say, why would you want to? But the reason is very simple. They have totally different things.
Oh, yeah. I went to a McDonald's when I was in Switzerland because Switzerland was way more expensive than I thought it was going to be, and I couldn't afford anything. And their McDonald's was crazy. It had all these menu items that I had never seen before, and they had like this cool double-decker fillet of fish thing that was absolutely delicious, and it was the equivalent of like $15.
Yeah,
but it was cool. Sometimes it is cool to go to different chains.
It's a place you've been a million times in America. You're like, let's go ahead and see Europe's spin on this.
And your eyes are so used to the normal menu, the normal thing. It's like an autopilot. So when you walk in and you see everything different, you're like, whoa, this is like a brand new world.
But you would get a lot of shame if you were like traveling the world and it was you just constantly in a Starbucks with another like black coffee.
People don't know that you've been hired for this. Like, why is she just always at Starbucks?
That's so sad.
Weird.
She's traveling. So that's a gig. But if you get that gig, we'll post the details up on our socials. Klein Alli Show. Nice $100,000 plus salary, and you get to travel the world. I would imagine
free travel. That alone makes it worth it.
So, and imagine all the points you'd earn just by doing that trip.
Oh my God! And then I can book more trips.
You get all them points. I was talking about the Starbucks points, but Allie's talking about the travel points. But regardless, that's pretty great. Side hustles are plenty. And if you do rent out your pool, I'm looking at this one now. This is true. I've rented out my hot tub to strangers before. I didn't know you could do
more shady.
Just the hot
it
tub.
is. I feel like if people only want a hot tub, then they want to do shady things.
We could throw in the tiny towel to go with the hot tub, make it a whole experience.
Oh, fun.
There you have it. Some side hustles. Now you're aware.
Just lay like 1,000 of them on a lawn chair.
Make additional money. It's KROQ Klein Alli Show.
Times
out of school, which means we're working longer. Klein Alli Show is now live till 11 a.m. because it's better than scrubbing popsicle stains out of our couch all summer. Klein Alli Show. Bad parents, good show. KROQ.
KROQ, we are Klein Alli Show, wrapping things up. These summer hours, man, oh man, people either love them or hate them. There's a lot of mixed reaction over on the GOAT line. You can always leave your thoughts, 844-956-GOAT.
Sweet Dibbits, I love the show, but I have a complaint.
Yeah.
I'm an everyday listener that listens live from 6 a.m. to whenever the hell the show ends. But
who knows anymore? I mean, that's the reality. Who knows? But we cannot get on your full complaint now. We will listen to all complaints, and tomorrow we'll get into a round of Do More Better, where we wrap up the week with all of the many complaints you've left on the GOAT line. If there's anything we can do to make your listening experience more enjoyable, or you just like to vent about something that happened on the air, you can use the GOAT line, 844-956-GOAT, and we will do a roundup of all of your many, many, many complaints, and we'll do that all tomorrow. That'll put us in a great mood for the weekend.
Wow, why are we doing that?
I don't know.
We could also just not do that.
No, but we should, because I think of the 10 or 12 people that are complaining about things, I'd say probably 90% of them are right.
Yeah, but it's good to cancel plans.
It's also good to cancel plans, so we may cancel that as well. I think we decided we're canceling the meeting today after the show.
Is this real?
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't tease me.
Yeah, we're going to cancel the meeting.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Summer hours.
Vanessa's so happy.
Well, you got to do a live rendition of Kokomo right now.
No. Don't make her do that.
Da-da-da, do-do-do-da-da-da-da.
Perfect.
I forgot that
She's so
We're going to
happy.
cancel the meeting, but we want to make 1,000 more Vanessa tiny towels.
Let's have the meeting.
Oh, no. She doesn't want the tiny towels. Well, if you'd like your very own tiny towel, we'll give away another one right now at 800-520-1067. If you'd like a limited edition Vanessa tiny towel for only PG-related
Fluids.
secretions. And someone said PG stands for penis and groin. But that is not true. So thank you anyway, and you're more than welcome to get a tiny towel while supplies
And
last.
G-spot.
All right, takeaways from today's show. Reminder, if you're going to be at Mumford & Sons tonight, the Hollywood Bowl, I know we gave away a lot of tickets for that show, including a box and a banjo. There's a little pre-party happening, Hard Rock Cafe Hollywood. You can park at a discounted price, the Hollywood and Highland Complex over there, and you can do a little pre-party with KROQ fans and DJs, and you'll get pre-order your meal boxes and all that. It's going to be happening 5 to 7 tonight, Hard Rock Hollywood, if you'd like to come on by for that.
Isn't it so exciting to pre-order your meal box?
I guess.
I love it.
I've never done it, but I would
Oh,
imagine
come
that
on. Like, have you been on, like, a long flight where they're like, do you want to pre-select your meal choice?
I never even get that. Sometimes they wheel by and they go, we have sandwiches, and I say, great, can I get that ham one? And
Or
they go,
even
we're
at
out
a
of
wedding
it.
when it's like, pick your meal. You're
That's
like,
nice.
It's exciting to pick your meal, don't you
I
think?
usually forget what I got, though, and then it's always a surprise to me.
Oh.
And they're
But
like,
yeah, but then that's the best part, too, is you're like, what did I do? Oh, my God, I got the steak. I'm so smart.
one time they told me at a wedding, they're like, you had picked the vegetarian thing. I'm like, no, I did not pick that. And they're like, it's
blasphemy.
They're like, you did pick it. I'm like, you got the wrong person because it's not me for sure.
Definitely not.
And they're like, I got in an argument with like a waitstaff, and I was like, all right.
Do I
guess-
look like a vegetarian?
Yeah. Do you see me and think risotto? No, you don't. So let's move on, okay? Takeaways today's show. What do we got?
626, my takeaway is God looks better in 98 inches.
Sure does.
818, my takeaway is Klein Alli show is 0 cents per song. And
we're
barely
free.
worth it.
Every song we play on the air is completely free for you, and all this mediocre content is completely free as well.
213, my takeaway is Arby's has the best bathrooms to take a crap in.
So true.
562, you'll find me down at Kokomo if I need a place to get away. 626, my takeaway is troublemakers turn into baby makers. Go to a Katy Perry concert for your chance to eat a shoe. And 909, my takeaway is drinking Fiji water means you've made it.
Yeah, that's the only way you know if you've actually made it in this world. Your takeaway from today's show, Jake the Nerd.
Yeah, blind dads need TVs too.
That's a good point. Yeah, there's a lot of very deserving dads today. We could only give away one TV, but we'll give another one away tomorrow. And these things are sweet. The QM 6K, man, that's what it's all about. 98 full inches. The final one tomorrow. And we've been hand delivering them. Check out the videos up on our socials at Klein Alli Show. Omar, takeaway?
My takeaway is Klein Alli show. We're full of wonders.
We are full of wonders. You don't believe us? Well, you should check out the show for longer because we got these additional summer hours. Allie, takeaway?
My takeaway is I want to feel dope when I'm handling soap.
That's right. We learned about that from Jake's journal entry today. If you missed it, check out the complete podcast. Alfred, congratulations. You are caller 20.
Well, thank you so much, Klein.
Sweet Dibbits, what are you going to do with this tiny towel?
I'm a garbage man, and I need to wipe the sweat off my hands and the dirt.
Oh, I thought you said ass.
I was hoping he said that, but no, he's going to use it on his
Swamp
hands.
ass.
Hold
That's
on.
so
Is that okay,
bad.
Vanessa?
Vanessa.
That's okay.
All right, Vanessa approves. Hold on, Alfred. Thank you for your work. And now to take us out today, a special tribute to Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys as performed by Vanessa.
There's a place called Kokomo. That's where you wanna go to get away from it all.
That's not enough of a tribute, though. Let's give you this one as well.
I want
Hold on
more.
1 second. Here we go.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody be surfing like California, yeah. You see them wearing their baggies, Huarachi sandals too, a bushy blonde hairdo, surfing USA.
Klein Alli Show.
KROQ.
KROQ.